Very collegiate.
Yeah, and I guarantee you that's happened in Baton Rouge.
Oh, and I'll guarantee if everybody else does it, guess what LSU will be doing? It's unique right now because Oak State's doing it.
I'll give you one. If Jaden Daniels had said, you know what, I don't know who's going to draft me. I don't really like the teams at the top. I'll come back. Here's what I would like, Coach.
Since I'm being on me, long and weary, my road has been. I was lost in the city, alone in the hills. So sorrow I'm feeling, only then I feel I am not rolling wheel. I am the highway. I am not sure I better ride. I am the sky. Burns and liars don't wait for me, 'cause I get on by myself. I put me in my own alone of my heels, and they too close for you to tell. I am not sure rolling wheels. I am the highway. I am not sure I better ride. I am the sky. I am not sure blowing wind. I am the lightning. I am not sure a moon. I am the night. I am not sure rolling wheels. I am the highway. I am not sure of better ride. I am the sky. I am not sure the way we. I am the lightning. I am not sure the moon. I am the night. Yeah. Yeah.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
5 o'clock today on the Big Ten Network. And then it ends this Labor Day weekend. Coming up on Monday night, 6:30 on ESPN with Boston College and Florida State. Big Ten Network, Howard and Rutgers at 5. Boston College at Florida State. They're the bookends. 96 games total on the first full weekend of college football as we get going today. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Tyler in for Rockstar for a couple of more days while Rocky's on vacation. Forrester and Lunceford on the back row. Taylor, Korn, Emily, Grace McWhorter out in the command center at Next Round Live. Like, subscribe wherever you're getting us today on all the platforms, both video and audio, as we get going today. Football tonight, a couple of interesting matchups, including over at Jacksonville State, where you see Brown's quarter zip on. The old school logo back middle field there at Amherst Stadium,
That's right.
Burgess Field, and
Just like it should be.
I can't figure out, is this a pullover that Randy Brown had way back in the day, or is it new retro?
no, it's new, man. That's a slick looking logo, and
No, it is, but
I
it's
love it.
retro looking, is it not?
No, we've gone throwback logo.
Yeah.
Throwback logo.
yeah,
Right
and I
there with
love
the
that.
Gamecocks.
So much better than the Southern Mississippi
I agree.
ripoff logo.
I agree. We've messed with our logo way too much there. The best logo is logo to my childhood, which is, I don't know how to describe it, but it's the gamecock with the big feathers out back. You know what I'm talking about?
The South Carolina like one.
Yeah, the ball marker I use on the
Yeah.
golf course. You've
Yeah.
seen it on the ball marker.
Yeah. My balls are always close to yours.
That's okay,
Flip
Jim.
that one.
Thank you. That's the logo of my childhood, which is the logo I prefer. This is the logo to Lance's point of Randy Brown, my father.
Yeah.
And so when my dad was in school at
Yeah,
Jacksonville State,
so you scoffed at that.
Yeah,
so
no,
my dad was getting his.
I thought you were meaning the quarter zip was
I did
Randy's back
too.
in the
I
day.
did
That's the
too.
way he took it too. That
Yeah, I thought
you were
that's what
asking
you
if that
meant.
was his dad's quarter
It was
zip
my dad's
handed
quarter
down
zip.
since the 70s.
I thought
No,
that's
that's what I said. Yeah.
But no,
So-
the logo is the quarter zip's brand new. You
So-
can tell.
No, but
Yeah.
it looks retro. That's
It
good,
is.
but
It
it can
is.
still be old.
I do
the,
like retro logos.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
this is the logo of the 60s and 70s when my father was getting his accounting degree there at Jacksonville State University, Lance.
That was back before the Gamecock had money.
That's right.
Now
That's
Rich Rod has got his Worldwide West.
Yeah, and you got that game. Coastal and Jack State could be one of the better games of the night. Brown's been saying that for a couple of weeks. You've got UAB opening up a year 2 of Trent Dilfer down at Protective Stadium, 7:00 for that game. Alcorn State in town. Pour one out for Steve McNair. Been seeing a lot of Alcorn State football with that documentary lately. They come to town with UAB. Good chance for the Blazers to get off to a great start with Jacob Zeno at quarterback. And then we've got some big games nationally we'll talk about as we move throughout the show. But last week was a nice appetizer. This feels like the start of college football season tonight.
Well, I got to be honest. I mean, I thought Saturday's slate was as good or better as this slate.
For Thursday or for the whole weekend?
I'm just talking. No, I'm just talking about Saturday to Thursday.
Yeah.
I mean, look, and I was going to ask you guys this question in a minute. There's only 3 games that really intrigue me about tonight, but we are so close to Saturday. And so just watching not only live football that you can sit back, that counts. Maybe we've even got a sleeper out there tonight that can make a little noise in the ACC or the Big Ten. But just hearing all of the broadcasts talk about what's going on this weekend, and I don't know, man. You can just feel fall.
You can.
I think. What are the start times?
Okay, as you're looking at the start times, here's my question to you guys, and you can think it out. What would make your night tonight?
North Dakota State beating Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are going to say North Dakota State over Colorado.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie.
I mean, I thought that was going to be kind of the universal answer. I kind of agree. I mean, whatever picks I end up giving out at lanceslog.com, of course, I want to win those first.
Sure.
But secondarily, if we were to see Deion lose, I can't even imagine, I'm staying awake for the press conference if it's going to be covered. Will it be covered anywhere? I guess you can go online, right?
I'm sure SportsCenter will have Prime Live. I mean, they've got the game on main ESPN, which, I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is that my big TV, my main TV? I think I'm going to start with Colorado, North Dakota State rather than UNC, Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
All due respect to our buddy Brock Heward, who is doing the North Carolina, Minnesota game.
What about your alma mater?
Well, I'm not going to have it on the main. I'll have it on. Now, I think it's going to be the best game. It'll probably end up on the main for me.
It could be the best game. There is a chance that North Carolina, Minnesota is a tight football game down to the end.
I've been staring at that game for a week, and it's like a Rubik's Cube to me.
It is. It's a hard one to figure out, and again, I compared it to the Cheez-It Bowl or whatever, mid-tier bowl you
No,
want to
that's
go
what
to.
it seems like. It seems like a bowl game that you would play on December 28th, and you'd be like, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Detroit. I'll watch it.
I feel like
this.
I'm going in a coma, and I'm
But,
I'm
a
looking
couple
for
of
early
storylines
bowls.
there. You've got 2 new defense coordinators. We talked about Jeff Collins, friend of the show, taking over for Mac Brown. And you've got 2 new quarterbacks. And this Max Brosmer kid, he's a 7th-year guy out of New Hampshire State. And he led the FCS in passing last year. To me, it's interesting to see that guy make a jump against a rebuilding defense. So you've got new quarterbacks, new coordinators. This is a game North Carolina won handily last year. Aesthetically, I don't think it's going to be the best game in the world, but hey, it's 2 decent brands.
I'll send out.
I don't want to sell it, Lance.
Yeah, they're power conference teams. So I'll send out the sheet again, so you have the start times, the worksheet we use, and noted up all weekend long. But from the SEC tonight, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and Arkansas, 6:30. You see it on the screen there. The sheet we send out, our worksheet, 6:30 ESPNU for that one. Murray State and Missouri, 7 o'clock SEC Network. Missouri, they're. What are they, number 11 in the country in the AP poll?
Yeah, hey, they sold the game out. Everybody rejoiced. So Eli had to get on there and beg people to come watch this one, and they finally sold it out. They're doing a victory lap now that they sold this game out.
And they're opening the parking lot 1 more hour early, so you get 4 hours.
4 full, huh?
4 hours of tailgating for that one. So that's enough for this game. That's
for
plenty.
Thursday night, 4 is ample.
Yeah, 4 is ample. That's SEC Network at 7 o'clock for that one. The game LT was talking about, North Carolina, Minnesota, 7 o'clock on Fox. The game Brownie was talking about, North Dakota State and Colorado, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Coastal and Jack State, 7 o'clock on the CBS Sports Network. And if you want to watch UAB, that's ESPN Plus. There's a lot of games. Maybe is it into the 20s of games we got tonight? It's a host of games.
Oh, it's close to 15, 20 now.
There's a lot of garbage ones.
You've only got like 3 or 4 legitimate games that are going to be on the Vegas board tonight.
Yeah, but I gave you a small sampling of what should be on. If you got 3 TVs like we all roll with, 3 plus. For me, it's TV1 Colorado hosting North Dakota State to start with. TV2 is North Carolina and Minnesota, and TV3 is Coastal and Jack State. Hopefully, I'll be able to do some quad boxes or tri boxes or dual boxes with the matchup and get them all on there.
So first world problems, but I rearranged my whole downstairs.
I wondered when this was going to be an issue.
No, so I used to have
7, right?
Big and then 4 across, 4 32s, and then the 65.
So 6. You had 6.
I had 5.
5. Okay.
5.
But then you added one on the other wall.
But so yeah.
I thought originally you had 2 big ones and then 4 across. Is that not what you had?
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah,
okay, and then you went 5.
Then I went 4 across and then 2. Okay. One big, one here. The new one came last year.
Right.
So now I've wiped the 4 and I've got 1 more big. So I've got 2 70s and a 65.
Man.
Because now you can do the quad boxes. So I can have 4, which is 8, and then 1 big, 9. So I had our friends come out yesterday and reprogram the remote because I had, I hit one remote, a Samsung remote, and it would turn all the TVs off. So
I'm
I had
an LG guy. It happens to me. I hit one button, it changes them all.
I had to get them out. They came out for a couple of hours yesterday just to program 1 remote, but I had to get it done where I don't have to worry about this anymore.
You don't want messing around on that on football.
Of course, we'll get to this in Hemp Hill. When I got home last night, the basement was flooded. But
jeez.
Plumbing or heating and cooling?
We think it's a cooling issue.
Okay.
We think the AC, something's up, something backed up. I don't even know. It's always something, man.
So,
don't blame it on the remote guys, though.
Well, the reason I did that is because I think they came in. I don't think I had run the AC in the basement in a long time.
Yeah.
And because I'm just not down there when it's not football season, really. And so I think they came in and they were working extra hard, and I think they flipped the AC on. And I think I'm glad they went on and got it out of the way instead of me doing it this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
So that's one of the problems with the quad box. You got to have a big TV to watch quad box on football. I mean, again, huge first world problem here. But a quad box on a 32 does nothing for you. You can't see jack. I mean, it's got to be a big TV.
But when you give me, I think I've got 70s or 75s. The quad box on that's the equivalent of about a 32.
Yeah. I mean, you get a good size, when they fill all the space. On the quad box is like there's no dead space in between.
And we've talked about this before. I'm just sitting there. I'm uber focused on one game. I'm sort of focused on another game. When I get to the quad box, I just like to keep peeking
sample
to see what's happening.
That's
like during commercial breaks or in between plays, I can glance over there, and see what's happening.
That's it. You can't pay attention. Now, I am pretty good at doing the volley and keeping up, but I like to have the one game that I'm really keyed in on.
That's right.
Yes.
You know, it's more so like I could have up to 17 games that I've got action on a Saturday, so I just want to be able to look and see what the game situation is.
Most of the time, the side TVs for me are the, wait a minute, what just happened up there TV?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, rewind, why is the coach throwing his headset, or why are they celebrating so much? And then I rewind and see what happened. Rarely am I like play-by-play on one of the side TVs. If it's that important, I normally just swap.
Yeah, well, so what I'll do is I'll keep... Again, this is first world problems. But, it's not like, back in the day...
Our people's been with us for 15 years.
They know.
They know this.
They know how we live.
But, I was going to say, like, I picked up another 70 the other day for like $300 at Walmart.
It's a deal.
So, back in the day, TVs used to be really, really expensive. So, it might have been a flex back in the day, but, a lot of people can buy a $200 TV that is well worth to me instead of spending $300 to go to a game.
That's one trip to a Bama game or an Auburn game.
You can buy the entire thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, it's one game day.
I'm heading to local big box store today to buy one more new TV.
Yeah.
Well, how many are you going to have now?
It'll be back to 3, but I'm moving out an old one.
Oh, okay. So this is you're going younger at that position.
It doesn't do the internet connection as well as the newer ones.
Yeah.
So it's the one I primarily use my antenna
And I'm
on.
scared about this because I haven't had like all the quad boxes running at one time. So Saturday will be kind of an experiment to see how good the internet connection is.
Right.
But real quick before you make your point, what I was going to say is when you see somebody celebrating or doing that, I will keep the remote program with sound on the main, and so I will just switch automatically to that channel to see what's going on.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. So let me ask the nerds. I'll start with.
Can we do that right after?
Yeah,
let's go
do that, 'cause I
Hemphill
wanna ask this
first because
question.
people keep rolling over in the chat room.
Sure.
MyBookie.ag chat room promo code next round. They will double your initial deposit. They keep saying over there that one guy said I've called my plumber or heating and air guy 4 times in 15 years. It seems like you do it 4 or 5 times a year. I would say membership has its privileges here when you have great sponsors like Hemphill.
Well, we had some friends in town last night, so I get home from trivia. I was going to have one nightcap with them, and I go in the basement, and I was so pissed at Chili. I was like, Chili pissed all over.
What have you done, Chili?
The rug. And what it was the AC had frozen up or whatever. So my buddy
you thought
that's
it was
there,
chilly, but it was the
I
AC.
thought it was chilly, but almost the entire carpet in the basement was already covered from the AC like backing up or whatever. But my buddy that was there last night knew a little bit about it. So we get Andrew from Hemphill. We FaceTime. We've got him on the phone at 10:30 at night.
Andrew, wake up, Andrew.
He appreciated that.
It's Lance's phone that's ringing.
But he was talking Greek. I didn't know what he was talking about, but him and my buddy kind of were, and he was like, do this, that, and this. And so anyway, they were out this morning at 8 o'clock.
Real quickly, before you tell us about Lance's Lock in Hemphill, would you tell me that were you stern or disciplined Chili?
I felt bad. No, I didn't.
Do you have to go back and apologize?
Like I never like pop my dogs. I just don't.
No.
But I yelled at her ass. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, you know better than to piss in the house.
And
when did you do this?
Did you put her in the crate? Did you?
No, I mean, she scurries off. She knows when I'm pissed off.
You had to come back.
Did you go back?
I came back.
So rub her head.
I was like, I'm really
that's
sorry.
totally on
But
me.
they were sensory overload because our friends brought their dog Pringle, and Pringle was running around the house, and so. Anyway, I didn't go to bed till midnight last night.
Well, I don't want to cross stream sponsors here, but I feel like this.
We haven't even done the other one yet.
This may be a good time for you to swing by New York Butcher and get Chili a little.
Oh, I will. So
whatever
Jack's,
the dog bouquet of flowers is to say I'm sorry.
JT's birthday is tomorrow, and so we're planning a special day and trying to decide whether he's going to be with me all weekend. So probably we'll do New York, probably take him out to dinner tomorrow night because I'm not doing it Saturday.
Right.
And then we will probably do New York Butcher on Saturday. Yeah, we'll probably grill that out.
You probably should little something to Chili after you yell that.
I will. No, I will.
Okay.
Back to Hemphill Services, though. They were out this morning, whether it's plumbing, which I've had them out for, heating, knock on wood, not yet, cooling a bunch of times. Whether these issues happen in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. They are going to take care of you. Lance's Lock, another winning night. Winning nights every single night this week in Major League Baseball. We are ready to crush it.
So what time do you have your football plays up? Are they up?
They will be up in the next hour and a half.
I like it.
Lance is like that guy.
So it's a good time to jump on to start the football season.
Oh, yeah.
I think I saw you've got a football special running, so go check that out.
We do, yeah, all inclusive. We had Georgia Tech week 0. We won in the NFL preseason again. So, yeah, ready to rock it for you.
Can I ask the nerds a question real quick?
Yes.
Tyler and Lunceford.
That's where we are in the show right here. I haven't asked the nerds a question.
Is it sponsored? What is viewed as the best platform for TVs now, like Roku or whatever, Tyler?
I like YouTube TV the best.
No. I mean, like I don't know what is the.
I do like YouTube TV.
Okay,
That's the way I understood your question too.
No, I'm
Sort of
talking.
deal.
I'm talking about like why is Harp so early? Harp's way early.
That's okay.
We're normally dragging the guy off a golf course. No, I'm talking about like Roku and all that. What's the best one? Does Lunceford know what I'm asking?
Apple TV?
Are you talking about like Roku Fire Stick?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Roku.
Roku?
I just use I have Sony TVs, and they just use Android TV basically as their platform. And
I was just asking because I use Roku. My whole house is Roku, and I've really liked it. And
I've got half Roku and half Apple.
Oh, do you?
I like
Okay.
both.
Why do I need Roku?
Well, it depends what kind of TV you have.
Yeah.
So like, if you have
Jimmy
an old
Curran,
TV,
why am I missing? I got LGs and it loads the apps up for me and everything.
This is not the brand of the TV. This
Well,
is the platform it uses.
depending on what TV you have, sometimes it may have it. Like I said, I have Android TV built into my Sonys, so I don't have to get a Roku or Fire Stick or Apple TV or anything like that. I have in the poker room is all Fire TVs, so because it uses Amazon. So like it depends on the TV you have. It depends how new the TV is, whether it has a platform built into it or not. If not, then you need a Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV.
Just let me ask you, okay? The old man question. All mine are LGs. I bought them all at Best Buy. I'm on YouTube TV.
What year?
I'm on AT&T Internet. They're all within the last 2 years.
Oh, they're all smart TVs.
Yeah, they're all smart TVs.
Oh,
If
yeah.
they're a
So
smart
these are.
TV, you
Oh,
don't
just
need
say
a
that.
plug-in.
So yours are not smart TVs.
No, they're smart TVs. They're Roku.
If it's a smart TV, I mean, some may be Roku by default. Some may be Fire TV by default.
Okay, here's a little
So maybe
confusion
Android
to clear this
platform
up.
built in.
So
Yeah.
Roku has their own TV now.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have bought one of those secondary TVs for an office in the house, and it just comes. It's probably one of the shittiest TVs in the world. I don't know. It's like 150
Like
bucks.
all mine in the poker room are pretty bad,
Not
but I
an
got
endorsement.
them. I got them for like $50 on Amazon, and they have Fire TV built in, so I can
Okay.
just like
Yeah.
load.
Hey, you know
load
what's a
something up
dying
on it.
breed, Lunceford, is when they ask you if you want a warranty on a TV.
Yeah.
Like
No,
you
I
think
do not.
anybody
True
would
that.
take that? So the warranty is actually more than the TV. I'm going to pass on that.
Yeah, I don't even know what I have. I just know it all works.
But what I
I've
like-
got every app
Yeah,
is
that's
already
the
on
important
there.
thing.
I just click on it.
So
You
what
don't
I
need
like,
anything else.
what I like about Roku, and I'm sure everybody else does this, is I could just use my phone as a remote to anyone in my house. See what I'm saying? That's what I like about it. And I like the way the remote works. It's just very simple. Well, I can't do it right now because I'm not at home, so I can't show you the remote.
Does my iPhone, my YouTube
Yeah.
I'm going
TV,
to be honest.
that'll-
If you have a good remote there, it's probably just easier to pick up the remote and do
Yep.
it as opposed to using your phone.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree.
It is, but
Well,
I've
but
used
I've
the
got-
smart remote on the phone before.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an option, definitely. Like, if you have Apple TV, it's actually really easy if you have an iPhone.
Right.
Because you literally just scroll down and it's a perfect remote right there.
Yeah.
But it just depends on the platform you're using.
All right. So I'm not missing anything. is
You're
what
not missing
saying.
anything.
No.
It's
Jimmy
amazing,
Curran.
though, how much technology has changed because my house was wired up with DirecTV. And when you go to my basement, and obviously I was there last night in the garage checking out the damage from the AC, but looking up and seeing all of the different wires and things I had from DirecTV. And now
I've
you
seen
just
that
throw
room.
the TV on the
I
wall.
know.
Yeah.
And
You rock.
It's perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. You remember before I moved out of the house, I had to bury the wires inside the wall. You know, you
Oh,
go
yeah.
up there and
Yeah.
they hung the TVs, and the wires all come down. Blah 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 blah.
Let me tell you who can hang a TV. Our boy Michael Spisto.
Not an endorsement.
By himself, like a 70-inch, man. That's
Yeah.
pretty impressive. Would you guys have any idea how to hang one of these TVs?
Yeah. I mean, I did it for my daughter at college, but I mean, that's a 32.
You know, Spisto should have a business.
I've
where
tried
he's-
to talk to him
He
about
should move
this.
in the basement at
he's just a
Lance's
handy
house.
guy.
Yeah.
No, that's what I told him.
Painted lawns. Nobody's just a handy guy anymore.
The friends that came
Every
over
town
last
used
night,
to have that guy.
The-
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
they came because he painted the majority of the house. They were
Right.
like, "Oh my God, who did your painting?" And I was like, "This bum
my guy."
friend of mine."
yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
No, I mean I'd say that like that's a
Yeah.
loving
Yeah, right.
term.
Daring.
But I mean, he's a jack of all trades.
And I asked him, and he was like, "When we owned the salon, he was like, I had to learn how to do this stuff."
Yeah.
And boy, I mean, he is like legitimately good at any of that stuff. I had new car, bought a used car when I turned in the lease. and the handle, there was a little missing thing that popped off, so they had to order me the part. Came in, I looked at it. I was like, I don't know how to do this. Spisto came and popped it on.
Amazing. He should just do it. Every town had that guy.
The old town handyman, yeah.
Oh, if he was
Pretty
single,
much every dad used
if
to know
he
how to
was
do it
single,
back
he'd
in the
be living in my
60s.
business. He'd be like the, was it One Day at a Time, the Snyder guy that was walking
Schneider,
around?
yeah.
I'd be
The
like,
white
dude,
beater.
you can live here. It's everything, it's on the house, but whenever we need something, you're fixing it.
Yeah.
It'd be worth it.
I don't know how to do anything.
Oh, I don't think any of the three of us do.
I don't think a lot of dads do anymore. I think you just have a guy like Spisto and you could call him up and boom,
No,
boom.
I think
charge.
it depends on what your dad. My dad was, God rest Chuck, pouring one out for him. We'll have new kegs here in a few hours. But wasn't the most hands-on dad.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I haven't taught Jack a lot of trades.
Yeah, you haven't passed down
and it really depends on the dad.
Oh, my dad could do anything, still can, and
He just didn't want to teach you?
well, he would try. But I don't know if you guys know this, but if somebody's doing something for me,
That's right.
I'm not paying attention.
Yeah.
I'm thankful you're doing
I've
it for
noticed
me,
that,
but I'm
yeah.
gonna let you do it.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So Lunceford probably has shown me how to do technical stuff back there, Tyler or Forrester, and they're, okay, all you have to do is click on this, this, and this, and boom, it's uploaded. And I'm like, all right, man, thank you. And then I'll go ask them the same thing 2 days later. Well, I just showed you 2 days ago when you actually did it, and I didn't pay attention.
Laura is right at the mybookie.ag chat room. The biggest advancement in handyman is YouTube videos. You can find a how to do
Yes.
any. Now, you may not be able to do it, but
Yes.
you can find a YouTube video that takes you step by step
know what
on
we need to
anything.
do?
It's
We get Spisto on our platform.
Do it to fix it.
Do it a fix it thing, and
Shoot it at Lance's house.
It's on the Next Round platform.
Yeah. Yep.
He just fixes things, and they click on it, and we just cut him on the advertising.
why I don't know why you do this out loud, because we should talk about this behind the scenes. But it's,
of all our $1 million
it's
ideas,
funny.
that's the one.
No, that's probably the only one that would work. Back
My
to
4 downs didn't for today. I know that.
Yeah, he's beat up about that. By the way.
I knew he would be. Tyler,
Yeah.
I meant to
He's
tell
only
you, you
mentioned it like
framed it
10
the wrong way.
times.
Now,
Yes.
Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong. Did we not do this? I said, hey, Dunaway did a 4 downs, but I thought you wanted to do one. If you want to do one, you can go ahead and do it.
You do it every time Rockstar is out. Every single time Rockstar is out, you do 4 downs. Well, Dunaway texted us one last night, and I'm like, Lance and I were at trivia, and Lance is like, why is Dunaway doing 4 downs? Tyler does it.
I had to separate it because he's on a different platform than the rest of us, so I had to send him a separate text.
Right.
So it was the
But
text
Tyler
went-
does
why
it.
did you decide to do
But
it?
Tyler does it when Rockstar's
because
out.
Tyler is doing a lot this week, including the Meltdown, and he was doing a movie review I saw, and he'd gone to do this. I was
Yeah,
just
but
trying
he wants
help.
to show off his creative
That's right.
juices.
I was trying to help him out. Tyler, were you thankful that I had done them?
I was appreciative of the help.
Yeah.
I still,
Are yours better?
I still had to finish up trash. I had some Covered Crimson stuff to edit.
Yeah, so I was
still
just
had a
trying
lot
to
of
be
work.
nice. It was the afternoon. I had a little time there with the dogs, and Maggie's out of town. Idle hands. So
You're
I just
such a giver, man.
I just knocked
Thank
it
you,
out,
Jim.
trying to help Tyler
Thank
out
you.
a little bit.
Thank you.
And then, of course, turns
We didn't
out
like it.
Tyler
Well, I
comes
mean,
in
they
and says,
were-
"Hey, don't use your 4 downs because I've got
Hey, let's
4
do
downs
this today.
'cause LT didn't
let's
like yours."
do 8,
8 downs.
and let's let people pick the best set of 4
I
downs.
know the way that's
No,
going to
no,
go.
no.
I know the way
Mine-
the chat room's
mine's
going
already
to
been.
that.
Mine's
Well, they
already
won't
been.
know. They won't know.
Oh, it's
Mine's,
true.
Yeah,
mine's
we're-
already been deleted from the phone.
No,
I've still got 'em.
no. Let's
I
just do.
unsent it.
We'll let Scott, the ultimate vote here. Scott, should we do 4 and 4, anonymous, not tell anybody whose 4 downs they are?
Tyler reads them all.
Yeah, Tyler reads them all, and let people vote.
I'm good with it.
Yep.
Do it.
Mine may have been mystery 5th hour feels. I don't know. I just worked hard
bit.
on them. I spent about
A little
50.
bit. Oh, a little bit.
Spent about 50 minutes on them yesterday. But
50 minutes.
There is no way you spent 50
No, I
50
did.
minutes.
50 minutes. I was
That's a
trying to come
waste.
up with different ones, so we weren't doing the same ones
Well,
all
that's
the time.
good. We got 4 mystery 5th hours now.
Yeah. So the show is brought to you today. Roman Harper, next segment. Show's being brought to you today by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. Now listen up. We've got a ticket giveaway here. If I read this right, I'm just going to read it the way Greg wrote
Oh,
it.
boy.
Greg from Pell City has some tickets to the Alabama game, and he wants to give them to one of his customers or somebody can call him up. Let me see this.
So basically, you're just going to give out Greg's cell number, and somebody calls him and says, I want the
that's
ticket?
a cell number we give every day
Yeah.
that it's about to pop up on the screen. Greg has 4 tickets for the Alabama game that I'll send them. Previous customer or somebody who may need a roof inspection or whatever,
Right.
you can get these 4 tickets. I've talked to a ton of people in the chat room if you want to reach out to him, but he wants you to call him today. 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531. He's got stuff happening with his kids this weekend, so he can't make it to the game, but he wants the Next Round family to fill those seats. So call him up, and he can break them up if you need to, 2 for you, and he'll give 2 to somebody else. So call him up, 205-542-3531. Greg from Pell City on storm restoration roofing, a free, no obligation roof inspection, 205-542-3531. It's Greg from Pell City. We're back with Roman Harper after a quick timeout.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at scottforestertv.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals, and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Football starts tonight, a couple SEC games, and then we get to see Alabama and Auburn, different looks this weekend, ready to go, and a lot of people we love to talk to every week. One of them is Roman Harper Brownie.
He joins us each week courtesy of MyBookie.ag. Code Next Round at MyBookie.ag. I recognize this. It's the Charlotte airport. That's where Harp is. He's on a flight to Gainesville. That's where you guys are this weekend, right?
That is correct. We're should be fun. I mean, it's going to be hot.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It still should be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be hot. That's for dang sure down there. What a fascinating game that is, though. The more and more this summer has dragged along, the more and more I've talked myself into Florida pulling what is a small point spread upset, but this is realistically a toss-up game. I've talked myself into Florida in this game, Harp.
Yeah, I totally understand why. I get it. Look, I was fairly confident about Miami too, right? Everything we thought about Florida, just what they were last year, what they're bringing back, all the questionable pieces. the lack of success as far as like starting off the season hot for Florida the last couple of years under Billy Napier. All these things are out there. And I've talked to my man, John Vilma, and he doesn't give me enough confidence to feel better about Miami right now, guys. So I think you may be onto something.
Wow. So last year, and this is hard to remember, Harp, because it's forever ago, when we were in Nashville for SEC Media Days 2023, the media, there was a lot going around on, and then we had 14 teams on the worst quarterback in the SEC coming into the year, and a lot of people had Graham Mertz. And Graham Mertz, although it was not a successful season overall for Florida, he was really good last year. And I think a lot of people forget he was an Elite 11 quarterback. He was, at one point, the highest recruit ever signed at Wisconsin, and it just didn't work out there. Are we maybe just sleeping that Graham Mertz is a pretty good quarterback?
No, I think he's efficient and effective. So when you know who you are as a quarterback, which I feel like he's learned who he is, you can be more effective. You're not going to try and put the ball in harm's way sometimes when you don't have to force it. When you know you can take the check down and you know that you can do these little things and play efficient and effective quarterback play. Like that's all it is most of the time. Is especially when you have a coach that knows who you are. That's what Nick Saban used to always talk about. It's like, look, I'd rather have a quarterback who I know what I'm going to get out of instead of the one who I don't know. And sometimes you don't always have to make the Hall of Fame play. I just need you to make the regular plays all the time. I thought Graham did a great job of that, especially what I saw him do in Wisconsin. So I saw his growth and what he was able to do last year. I thought it was outstanding, actually. But, they still got to have somebody that can stop somebody on the other side of the football. You still got to be able to play complementary football at the University of Florida, which is, to me, that's the real key missing ingredient, is that they haven't played together as a team. When the defense plays decent, the offense is off. When the offense is off, the defense plays decent. So you got to be able to play in all of, in all aspects, all three aspects of the game.
Around the SEC, new member Texas, national championship contender. If I asked you, do you need more questions answered offensively or defensively by this Texas Longhorn team? Because they're replacing some key parts on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I just think overall as a team, look, so I think defensively, to answer your question specifically, and that's because they lost the two big boys up front. You don't get to just replace NFL talent, size, and ability up front and between the D tackles the way that you did at Texas last year. Like, they just don't build guys like that on trees. I'm sorry. They can be good on the edge, but as far as stout, running the football up the middle, that's what allowed Texas defense to be so good last year, was that they didn't allow people to do that. And so that's what I would say to answer your question. Me specifically, just to kind of add on to that, is that Texas has 3 games to me. I don't really care about what they have to replace, what it's going to, because nobody cares, right? Injuries, their loss to the running back, that hurts. But everybody has injuries in football. That's just part of the game. It's cooked into business. But they have 3 games, all right? Michigan, I assume that they will beat Michigan because Michigan's not the same team. And Texas brings back way more than that. But you got to beat Oklahoma. Like, you've lost 8 out of the last 10. And we're always used to Texas supposed to be this. Like, you got to beat Oklahoma. All right? Then I can start taking you seriously. And then after that, you got Georgia at home. That's going to be a huge barometer of who we really think this team is supposed to be, whether they win it or not, but how do they look? And then, of course, at the end of the year, you got Texas A&M on the road at Kyle Field. And if you get, Kyle Field's going to be ready. I just know that. And so you got to win these games because Texas traditionally has found a way to lose a game that they're not supposed to. That's why we can't say Texas is back.
Roman Harper is with us, SEC Network, on his way to Gainesville. He joins us each week courtesy of mybookie.ag, code NEXTROUND. They will double your initial deposit with code NEXTROUND at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag. We have talked all this offseason about the fact that Mike Elko knows Riley Leonard, the Notre Dame quarterback. He played for him, so he knows how to frustrate him. He knows the looks that Riley Leonard does not like. On the other side of that, Marcus Freeman faced Mike Elko when Freeman and Notre Dame played Duke. How much of that can you carry over when all the personnel is different, Harp? I mean, how much?
I mean, you want to know, personalities, right?
Yeah.
So I can take that from it. Now, the uniform, the strategic pieces, those all can change because who you're facing will determine what our strategy will be. But you do know personalities. Every head coach has a personality. Jim Harbaugh, he's going to make an aggressive play call in big games. He's going to have a flea flicker. He's going to have a reverse pass. These personalities start to show. Sean Payton, he's going to have an aggressive mentality. Ron Rivera, he's going to be more conservative. He's going to punt the ball. So, like, personalities can transition and carry over. But as far as this game, if this game goes exactly like how you described it, this will be in the benefit of Texas A&M. When I look at Notre Dame and what their roster has been constructed with under Marcus Freeman for 3 years now, their roster overall is better than what Texas A&M's is in Mike Elko's year one. I know Jimbo didn't leave the cupboard empty, but just overall, it's still, I think Notre Dame's roster overall is better. And so if you make this game about Riley Leonard versus Mike Elko wins that battle. Mike Elko will win that game. And so Notre Dame has to be a complete team. You got to understand you're on the road. You're going to have to face Kyle Field. You're going to have a lot of different factors into it. You got to run the football. A punt's not a bad thing this week, and you got to take care of it, and you got to hopefully force a turnover or two. You do that, you win the game. But it's going to be a tough road game for Notre Dame. I don't know who I'm picking right now, but I am leaning a certain way.
Yeah, to me, there's three fascinating games out there, Harp, and one of them is Sunday night in Vegas, LSU, USC. I mean, both of these coaches, there is so much pressure when they took the jobs. A lot of people were like, well, Brian Kelly's going to win a national championship. Lincoln Riley's going to win a national championship. And they haven't even come close. And, you know, I mean, obviously being in the Big Ten and the SEC, you need to win this out-of-conference game if you want to really be in play come November rolling into December. I've talked myself into believing that Miller Moss is going to be really good, but I don't think the defense is going to be that much better. I mean, how do you see this one playing out?
It's going to go right down what you said. Which defense actually shows up? Like Blake Baker's supposed to have LSU better, but you know, there should be better schematically. But we're going to see, right? They still have to improve. You don't get to just draft a whole new defensive player. So that's going to have to kind of work itself out. And Lincoln Riley has never had a team that plays defense. So whoever plays defense wins that game. I don't really know who that would be. It'll be interesting to see. Interesting to see what LSU looks like offensively. And I don't even know the Miller Moss kid. So I'll let you take that bet.
Hey, anytime somebody actually hits the wrong button when we do these things, I'm just always happy if it's just a black screen that says iPhone. I'm just always happy it's not something else, man. We've been doing this for 4 years now, and I'm always fearful that it's going to be something else. So I'm happy. I love seeing Roman's iPhone pop up there. So here we go. My question is, Georgia. I just assume Georgia recruits the best players in the country. I just assume there's going to be another Brock Bowers or Ladd McConkey or Rara Thomas, or the guys they've lost. How are you looking for some playmakers out there? Who are they going to be? You got any insight on what Georgia is going to be?
I don't. I mean, they still return a lot of guys. They got Lovett from Missouri a couple years ago. He had a really good year. And they still just go recruit and go do. I agree with you. I don't think you can replace Brock Bowers. I think he was a special type of player. I think we'll see that even on Sundays. But you got the quarterback, you got the run game, you got the balance of the offensive line that likes to pass and bully people, and who Kirby Smart traditionally is as a head coach filters right down through his players, and they're going to play a type of brand of football. You know what you're going to see out of Georgia. So, yes, I do anticipate a lot of the same things like that. But it's going to look different. I think Carson Beck, I think this will be an offensive-driven team this year. Alabama's kind of going through that phase under Nick Saban at times where the offense kind of led the bus, where traditionally we used to Georgia being defensive-led team. But they got some young guys on defense, and I don't know how great they will be up front. I don't think you just continue to just rack up the guys up front. I think Georgia may take a step back defensively as far as up front is concerned. But I don't think you feel any loss because the offense will be that much more explosive this year.
Roman Harper for a few more moments, presented by MyBookie.ag. Code next round to double that sign-on bonus at MyBookie.ag. Code next round. You've talked about how different Alabama secondary will look under Kane Womack versus what you saw under Nick Saban defenses. You've seen TJ Finley. Is he good enough to stress anything that's different about this defense? Like, will you know anything coming out of this game?
I mean, it's yet to be determined. If he does put stress on them, then I might stress a little bit. But I still, like I said about Georgia, I think Alabama's offense is going to look tremendously. I think they're going to look more explosive. So that's what I'm anticipating. I'm anticipating more explosive offense. And defensively, I just want to know who they're going to be and start to see some type of identity form. We'll see. Alabama should win this game, and they should win it handedly. But it's still, for me, interesting because the defense is going to look so differently. I want to see some of the third down calls. I want to see the personality in Kane Womack because that's what I do not know. I saw what he called at Indiana when he was the play caller a couple years ago. But, you know, I want to see that part of it. For me, that would be what I'll be looking at. And next week, you'll get a really good answer out of me because I'll be able to tell you some things.
Okay, I'm assuming that is a custom piece you're wearing. It looks like a little Van Gogh meets Hunter S. Thompson.
That's where I was going, LT. I was going to ask him if that's from the John Dutton collection at Yellowstone. Did he wear that?
I mean, you got like
my shirt
patterns. You got like some kind of
bro. I
big
actually
bird.
got it in Grandfather Mountain, up here in North Carolina. In Grandfather Mountain, played the Grandfather Mountain Country Club. It was, I mean, dude, it's right beside Limble over there. All that stuff. I mean, a whole bunch of money, whole bunch of, you know. But I like mountain golfing just because, I mean, it's 15 to 18 degrees cooler, so it's never really that hot. You can wear pants all year long, and then, I mean, the ball travels. But the thing is, you got to land it on the fairway. Like, if it's not on the fairway, you ain't got a chance.
Yeah. Mountain golf is so superior to beach golf. It's not even close. Even close.
Yes.
Love
I
mountain
agree.
golf. Yeah.
I agree.
Love mountain golf. All right, Harp, we cannot wait. We have finally made it through the summer, and we're here, and you'll be in Gainesville this weekend, so have fun. We'll see you next Thursday.
Hey, man, can't wait, guys. I can't wait. College football's here. It's right upon us. I'm glad you guys didn't bring up Florida State, Georgia Tech. And it's just more to come, more upsets, more heartbreaks. I'm very, very excited.
We're looking ahead.
Safe travels, man.
See you, Harp. Be careful, buddy.
Thanks, fellas.
All right, thank you, Roman Harper, with us each week on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline, courtesy of MyBookie.ag. Code next round when you sign up at MyBookie.ag. Get that sign-on bonus where they double your initial deposit. To start the college football and NFL season here, they double your deposit. MyBookie.ag. That's when you use code next round at MyBookie.ag.
Until I thought it was a long sleeve button down top at first, until they had the full look, and I thought maybe it was a little Western.
Well, I never would have thought that you would get that off the rack in a pro shop.
Yeah,
a high-end pro shop, by the way.
But
Grandfather Melton.
Once you see the whole thing, it was a much better looking shirt there. I enjoyed it a lot. Michelson, would it give you the whole view? You know, from 20,000 feet with great eyesight. So Michelson Laser Vision. Tell us about them.
205-969-8100. Make that call. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She is going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Again, 205-969-8100. Also ask about the pre-inflation pricing. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. I got procedure done over 20 years ago. Still have 20/15 vision, better than 20/20. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Hey, just to clear something up, because my head was swimming, did I mention what it was 4 tickets to what with the Greg?
You said the Alabama game.
Yeah, the Alabama game this weekend.
Or the big game in Tuscaloosa this weekend, as we may eventually have to say.
Yeah, whatever. But I was making sure I actually got that part out because it was doing something out of the norm for me. Here's a really interesting way to wellness stat of the day for you right here.
All right.
You ready?
All right.
68 Power 5 teams. How many of them are starting a quarterback that at one point was at a different school?
So out of 68?
Out of 68.
38.
Oh, I will say 51.
In between, 43 of the 68 Power 5 starting quarterbacks are transfers. That's roughly about 63%.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the minority guys are, what you'll see Sunday night with Garrett Nussmeier and Miller Moss, and what you'll see with Carson Beck and Cade Klubnik. I mean, these guys just don't want, and you got to give those guys credit for hanging out and being kind of old school and earning their stripes and getting their opportunities. But guys that come in, they want to play immediately now.
I am trying to figure out how many teams are in each conference. The Big Ten, there's 18 teams.
I think that is correct. I think 16 in the Big 12. 13
of the 18 in the Big Ten are transfer quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's the world we live in, man.
In the ACC, I think there's 17, or is it 20 now?
It depends on how you count. I mean, Notre Dame has that association. I think it's 17.
If you just have I'm not even going to say marginal, I'll say a casual college football fan, you could do a game show on where quarterbacks are now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I think it'd be really difficult until people get into a groove in September on watching a lot of college football on where these guys are.
13 of the starting quarterbacks in the ACC are transfers. In the SEC, the smallest number of starting transfer quarterbacks are in the Southeastern Conference. I do know we've got 16 teams here.
That is correct.
8 of the 16 are transfer quarterbacks. So
That's quite
50% of the league.
Yeah, that's quite low, though.
It's the lowest of the 4 power conferences.
Yeah.
Insane. Notre Dame's got a transfer quarterback as well. That's your Way to Wellness stat of the day. Our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Jumpstart that weight loss plan like I did a few years ago when I had ballooned well over 200 pounds, and I lost 45 pounds in about 7 months in a healthy way, all by going to aplanforme.com. What happened when I lost that weight was my blood pressure and cholesterol numbers went down, and I've been able to control that and maintain that. Even though I may have ballooned back up a little bit in weight, my vital numbers are still low thanks to Leslie and her board-certified team. They oversee the whole program. The website, again, is aplanforme.com. You see the Meltdown guys going through a free evaluation, a free consultation there. There are no contracts. There's no sign-up fee. So if you don't like it or if it's not working for you, you can drop out any time. But it works for you. And it's easy, and that's what I love about it. They have a variety of different things, so no cookie-cutter plan. Everything's designed for you. The website, again, aplanforme.com, Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. All right, we're going to do Tyler's 4 Downs in the next segment. Thursdays are our Thursday tradition. We'll get to that coming up later on in the 10 or 11 o'clock hour. Buster-only baseball still to come, where last night, Ohtani and Ohtani's dog bobblehead night at Dodger Stadium.
He got at the dog, too?
His dog's name is Decoy. Ooh. So the bobblehead, I think, was Ohtani with Decoy.
Is that like his translator, the decoy? For the
But on Ohtani and his dog bobblehead night, and Decoy threw out the first pitch. I didn't get to see this. I assume somebody had Decoy in a leash and was throwing out the first pitch. But Ohtani homers in his first at-bat on his own bobblehead night in that big Orioles-Dodgers series. You get to watch that one tonight if you're a little tired of football or late after it's over with, the late innings, 9 o'clock on the MLB Network for that one tonight. All right, 4 Downs when we come back. Stay with us. The show being brought to you by our friends at HydroLive, getting you ready for a weekend. LT had a little fluid, not in an IV bag, but on his garage floor last night. Now,
I got an update on that when we get back to our friends at Hemp Hill. But IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, all under one roof. IV therapy treatments packed with nutrients to increase energy, reduce stress and anxiety, boost that immune system, and much more. Members rewarded with deep discounts. You can save up to 50% off regular pricing for all services. Plus, receive 1 free IV bag per month with impressive savings and benefits members receive. You recoup that IV membership fee in just one visit. HydroLife Therapy open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. 2 locations in Birmingham, Homewood, and Highway 119. Also a Tuscaloosa location. Very important. Mention the next round, 20% off any of these great services. For more information, hydrolifetherapy.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
The World Wide Web is a large place. Find all your favorite people and content in the same spot. NextRoundLive.com is full of wonderful tidbits about the show you know and love. Find our gear, listen to your favorite personalities, follow our socials, and enjoy your trip to NextRoundLive.com.
All right, quick update on LT. The worst thing that can happen is football weekend, the first big football weekend, that you have something going on at the house, whether it's air conditioning or any of that, or, internet's out. You don't want anything happening this football weekend. Update on your air conditioning, heating,
flooded basement.
So it was vinyl tubing discharge line was clogged, got it blown out, poured water in the pump, pumped it out 5 times. Draining is good.
That's kind of what I thought was the problem when Lance brought that up.
Could you have fixed it if you would have been over?
Please, man.
First place I would have looked.
So I actually got fortunate by having remote guys out yesterday, letting them run it, because what would have happened is I would have run it Saturday morning and I would have had this issue. They would have had to come out on a Saturday, which they will always do.
Yes.
Would have been bad.
Yeah.
But now that's already cleared up. They've already been at the house this morning. They're already gone. Problem taken care of. That's what you get with Hemp Hill Services. 205-229-2090. HempHillServices.com. Hard to stop a train.
Go ahead and put that up there. Put that graphic up. We'll count that one right there. Our friends at Hemp Hill.
That's why he showed up this morning bright and early with that smile.
Got that
Mike Tice pencil behind the ear.
$2 in his hand.
Is that his name, Mike?
No, Mike Tice was the coach for the Vikings. You don't remember that pencil?
I don't. I do.
He sold all the Super Bowl tickets, got busted for that.
Yeah, I like that. A little Hemp Hill the builder there out there fixing LT's house. All right, time for the 4 downs today. Tyler put these together. They're brought to you by.
I thought we were doing 8.
No,
Jim was not. He would not do his 4 to save his life right now. After we criticized him.
It is unanimous around the back room and everywhere else that these were not good. So
okay.
I trust LT's opinions on the 4 downs.
I didn't say they weren't good. I just, thought we'd get a little more variety. I've already brought Tyler in. I have taught him. I would think by now he's been around you long enough that
never tell them they're not.
There's more tact.
I appreciate the honesty. I would much rather if you texted me last night instead of having Tyler be the one to tell me. I'd rather it come from somebody I've been with for 15 years to go, hey, these 4 downs are not very good.
Well, it's not like I locked you out of Twitter or something.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, just tell me, hey, these aren't good. I'm going to let Tyler do them. Or maybe I'll do them myself since Rockstar's off. But they're brought to you by our friends at Slice, where it's always good.
5 locations. Make sure you stop into one today. Go see the Bajaya Brothers. Local pizza, local ingredients from the hot mama to the soul pie. You're going to absolutely love it. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
Just to clarify, we're doing 4, right?
Yeah, we're only doing 4. Just your 4. Your 4, Tyler. Yes.
Yeah.
First down.
Unless you somehow edited 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, but let's don't do it. We're good with 4.
All right, first down. Week 1 is officially here. So what is your number 1 tailgate or game day food? You have to have it.
Well, I have to have it.
So it used to be pigs in the blanket for me for Rams games. Absolutely loved them. And I haven't done that as much. Now, my Saturday go-to was local market that just went out of business. So I've got to figure this out because I used to always do the pizza from there, the really, really thin crust, late night, Saturday night. So I don't know what I'm going to do on tailgate this year. I got to figure it out. I think it might be a new dawn for me.
Yeah. All right. Turn in a new page here.
When we've done this this 4 downs before. I won't do this on every one of them, but
Wow.
I could have told you where you got.
No, I did not lock. Dunaway locked me out.
I would have told you where we've gone, where LT would have gone for his pregame. I'm going to try something new this year. I'm going to do what we had down at the Floribama across the street at the sports bar. I'm going to try the pigskins with the caramel dip. That was a delicious combination.
It was.
I would. If you were not watching the show Friday a week ago, they have an appetizer there at the Old River Grill where it's pork skins made in-house, and then they've got caramel dip to the side and the seasoned pork skins, and you dip it in the caramel. That was tasty. I like that one.
Mine is, I've always called it caramel dip, but I am told it's actually toffee dip. I will continue to call it caramel dip because that's what my wife knows it as. But my wife makes it, a little recipe she has. It's made to dip apples in, like a caramel apple. I dip mini Nilla wafers in it. That's the way I really enjoy it.
Interesting. Wow.
And she'll make a batch of that, probably not every college football Saturday, definitely tomorrow.
Yeah, no,
and I'll eat it all day tomorwer.
Maggie does that too, and it's strictly apples for me, so I will try the Nilla wafers.
Yeah, my best, week one, my wife goes all out. She will do stuff all day long for week one just to celebrate.
I'd just like to point out in the chat here, Hunter Hall, Brownie is going to mention his wife going all out.
Oh,
for
she
week
does.
one.
Thank you, Hunter, for knowing this, and thank you, Tyler, for seeing it.
How
My
do we
wife
not
goes
get
all out
like
week one.
an invite for like just to-go plates?
You could get that if you want that. There's always leftovers.
Okay, I think I might do that.
So you're going to drive over and get
Well,
one?
just because I really don't have like a go-to this Saturday, so I might just try out Jen Brown's, for one day at least.
Hunter, thank you for having a, like me, where you sort of remember things on the show. I'm all fired up for that. What's next?
Second down.
Teddy Grahams, too. That's a good one, Brownie. I'm not a big fan of Teddy Grahams, but I also use that in those dips, too. Maggie's done that before. Go ahead.
What food from a movie or TV show did you always want to try?
This is strange, but Lost, which I thought was an average show. I thought it was really good early, and then it completely fell apart. But that Dharma beer, because, it was like they had to, like, just swigging it to get it down. Like, we don't know how old it was. The Dharma beer or the Duff beer from The Simpsons.
Duff beer.
Just to see how bad it would be.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Mine is this. I think it was Everybody Loves Raymond. His favorite dish was steak pizziola. And I'd never had steak pizziola. I didn't know what it was. So I investigated it. And
we've got a local joint that does it, right?
Yeah, right near my house that does it.
That's still the oldest thing you've ever done, by the way. Everybody Loves Raymond when you were like in your 20s watching that.
Yeah, that's a good show.
You used to say you loved that show.
Yeah, Everybody Loves Raymond was very funny.
Yeah. Everybody over the age of 60 loved Raymond.
I don't know if it was aimed at old people, but it was a funny show. But steak pizziola, and then my wife found a recipe for it and did it, and it was fantastic. But there's a local place near us. They don't always have it on the menu, but the owner has given me his number. And he has said, if you know you're coming in, if you'll text me, I'll make it for you.
Oh, fantastic.
It's terrific.
I'm going to go the sandwich that they make on the bear. It's just that
Italian beef?
Italian beef. I know it's messy.
Yeah, it's super messy.
But I've always wanted to try one of those, and it looks good.
Somebody put the onion rings, the last scene of The Sopranos. I just remember their Sunday dinners where they were pounding Coke. They always had Coke on the table and just some kind of great-looking ziti.
I'll take the ziti, leave the Coke.
I am on a baked ziti kick right now, by the way.
Third down.
By the way, more on that coming Monday in studio.
Oh, yeah, I've heard.
Yeah.
Third down. Today is Michael Jackson's birthday.
Oh, boy.
And next year, there's scheduled to be a Michael biopic released. So I've got to ask, which musician would you like to see a movie based on the most, assuming that it is the full true story of that artist?
Yeah, see, so that's the thing about Michael Jackson. I guarantee it's going to be...
it's going to be polished?
Yeah, it's going to be some liberal that doesn't want to do the deep dive into Michael Jackson. Not that that would really sell tickets. I think one of the best documentaries I've ever seen, and I've seen multiple, was Leonard Skinner. I think if you did a true deep dive, gritty 70s style film of Leonard Skinner, and especially Van Zandt, because hearing different reporters about how his moods would swing when he started drinking and how he became a completely different guy, I think Leonard Skinner could be a fascinating movie from beginning to plane crash and then just shut it down.
Yeah, I'll go with Lunceford. Britney Spears would be pretty amazing. What about you?
Skinner would be good.
Oh, I've seen that one. It's really good.
Well, If I Leave Here Tomorrow is the documentary that's really good. But if you did a feature film, is that what you're talking about? Just do a film? Yeah, I think that'd be fantastic. I would agree. Britney, dead or alive? Do y'all think? Lunceford thinks she's dead.
I think she's alive right now.
I think she's alive. I think this would be really, it'd be overplayed if she was dead.
Do you want to shut that down?
No, he says she's dead. Luntz says she's dead.
All right.
4th down.
13 years ago today, the hit MTV show Ridiculousness started. If you go back to old MTV or VH1, what was your favorite music video?
So I used to stay up all night and watch these things. Like, you remember before MTV was even a thing, they would have, it was called like Night Tracks on WTBS. But like for a cool video, I thought No One Like You, the Scorpions. But I always think like cheesy videos, like Love Is a Battlefield.
Yeah.
Separate Ways, just some of the completely ridiculous in-sync dances they were doing.
Well, I mean, Thriller came out when I think it was my last year in high school or somewhere in high school. I remember us rushing home to watch the long version being debuted on MTV.
Do you remember who directed it?
I don't.
John Landis.
I'm not even sure I knew it. So John Landis. I mean, it was like a feature film.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I think the budget was back then, it was like a feature film. But even when I hear the intro to Thriller, all I can think about is the video still.
That's 100%. It was an awful song and a worse video, but for some reason I would watch it because it was just so bad. But it was Paula Abdul dancing with a cartoon. I don't even know the name of the
Keanu
song.
Reeves. Opposites Attract.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a cartoon wolf.
No, it wasn't the Opposites Attract. What was the more
wolf or a cat?
But Keanu Reeves was in it. Oh my gosh, I know which video you're talking about, and it wasn't Opposites Attract.
But it was just so bad. But every time it was on, I'd watch it because it was so bad.
The
MC Scat Cat with Opposites Attract, they would dance with each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Like
it
up
was
and down the
opposites.
staircase and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll say I think I was 10 when the Whitesnake Tony Contain video came out. That was hit a little different
I
when
think
you were
she
10 or
dented that
11.
hood.
10 or 11, that hits a little different. But a random one that I liked was that Bad Phil Collins Land of Confusion, and it had all the puppets in it. You remember?
Yeah,
I like that.
I saw that. I was at an airport bar, like just sitting there, and that video came on. How random is that?
That is pretty random. I didn't even know they showed videos anymore.
Yeah, was
But
that
Land
Phil
of Confusion.
Collins or Genesis? Land of Confusion.
It was Genesis.
Was it Genesis?
Yes.
Because it was the other guy that was really into making the videos. I don't think it was Phil that had any input at the. Who was the other guy with Genesis that also was popular? Was it Peter Gabriel?
Yeah.
He was the one that
Oh, really?
He was the his single videos got way out there too.
And you remember George Harrison did the one where the animals on the walls are singing along? I can't remember the song.
Oh,
You remember that?
Got my mind set on you.
Yeah, that. I don't know why I liked those two when I was a kid.
I think some of them were designed for people that partook in smoking weed.
Oh, I'm
Potentially,
sure.
yeah.
I'm sure. And probably a lot of the artists, that's where they got their creative juices when they put these things together.
Let's have the wall talk.
Do you guys remember when I showed you all the video with MC Hammer and Deion Sanders, Pumps and a Bump?
Yep.
Yes. I do
If
remember
you
that.
guys are bored at work and you've never seen the Pumps and a Bump video, it is one of the, you guys will give me most outlandish
Pretty crazy.
videos ever at the end, where they've all got whacker packers on and just, I mean, it looks like Girls Gone Wild in the middle of, I forgot, what was the place the football players went to? The water park? What team was that recently that we had on?
Oh, yeah. It was Gus's team, but I can't remember the name of the
Central
water park
Florida,
in
the water park in Orlando. But it was like MC Hammer and all of his people took over that. The entire band when he used to employ like 50 people, Deion Sanders.
We can't play it, but there are some of the images there. Yeah, that is.
Look at MC Hammer right there.
He usually had baggy pants on. Not today. That is 4 Downs, brought to you by our friends at Slice.
Yes, 5 great locations: Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park. Newest location right there in Edgewood. Stop and see the Bajaga brothers. Get a slice and a salad today. Pick up a couple of pies for Thursday night football tonight. It's right there at Slice.
And also by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, UCA, with 35 urologists on hand, 16 great locations around Alabama. That's so particular, because it's so important to you to have 16 locations across Alabama near you. Not always easy to get in to see a doctor if you're out in rural areas, but thank goodness that UCA has 16 locations across Alabama, one near you that will treat all your urological needs, from prostate health to kidney stones and everything in between. Visit urologycentersalabama.com, urologycentersalabama.com to schedule an appointment today, or call that number, 205-930-0920, urologycentersalabama.com.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Excitement awaits at Barber Motorsports Park for the Fanatec GT World Challenge America, September 6th through the 8th. It's a high-octane weekend you won't want to miss. Witness some of the most iconic sports cars like Lamborghini, McLaren, Porsche, and Ferrari battling it out on the track. Enjoy the beer gardens, kids zone, and don't forget to bring your dog for bark at the park on Saturday. The Fanatec GT World Challenge America, September 6th through the 8th. Kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets today.
Are you tired of buying your CPAP mask and supplies online only to be disappointed? It's time to visit CPAP Plus, your locally owned and operated CPAP shop that prides itself on personal service. Come see what you're buying at CPAP Plus with 3 convenient locations in Pelham, Highway 280, and now open in Trustful. Drop by for a free CPAP checkup and free filters, no appointment needed. Plus, sign up for their giveaway for a chance to win a free travel CPAP machine. Just Google CPAP Plus or visit any of those 3 locations.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or michelson.laservision.com.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok. While we're changing the game yet again, Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the Intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low, low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of The Next Round, about that thing you missed. Sure, the rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
So back with you on The Next Round as we continue on here. Show being brought to you in part today by our friends at Wharf Casual Seafood right there in Moody and other locations.
Hey, great idea here. Get your football party catered this weekend from our friends at Wharf Casual Seafood. Fast casual restaurant serving American caught seafood. Locations Montgomery, Dothan, Alexander City. As Dunaway said, newest location right there, Moody Leeds. To check out the menu and find the location nearest you, wharfcasualseafood.com. They've got great specials most days, beer and margarita specials on Tuesdays, half off wine on Wednesdays. They've got the seafood entrees, tacos, platters, po' boy salads, burgers, and so much more. Again, to check out that menu online, wharfcasualseafood.com.
Real quickly, what you're looking for in these games I call out to you tonight, just, quick observation, one thing you're looking at for each one of these games. Missouri's number 11. Murray State was 2-9 last year, so Jody Wright, who takes over Murray State. He was an assistant at Alabama, UAB, Jack State, friend of the show here. It's his first head coaching job, so Murray State's not good. So you're looking at this game from Missouri. What do you want to see from Missouri? You first, LT.
Well, Cody Schrader was so good. Now on to the San Francisco 49ers, led the SEC in rushing. You're bringing in transfer portal guys to handle that load, and I want to see how Eli Drinkwitz actually balances the touches and carries with these guys.
Yeah, I want to see Luther Burden in action, just honestly. We know that how good he is, but seeing him back in action, and are they doing more with him? Is he just a receiver? Are they going to try to hand it to him some? What all is Luther Burden doing in this offense? Because he could be your SEC Offensive Player of the Year.
7 o'clock SEC Network for that one. Arkansas also playing tonight as they play Arkansas Pine Bluff in Little Rock. A lot has been talked about Bobby Petrino's return. Is that just the storyline for you in that one?
Well, I think it's part of the storyline and how he works with Taylor Green, the transfer quarterback out of Boise State, because I think what is really interesting is how high people are on KJ Jefferson, the former Arkansas quarterback who has now gone to Central Florida to play for Gus Malzahn. If somehow Sam Pittman is going to survive, it's going to be because of the offense with Bobby Petrino, and Taylor Green ended up being an electrifying quarterback. I don't know if I believe that can happen, but I'm interested to see how he acclimates into the SEC.
You won't be able to tell against Arkansas Pine Bluff, but their defense was near last in the Southeastern Conference in scoring defense last year. Petrino can do all he wants, but if they don't start playing a little better defense under Sam Pittman than they did last year, none of that's going to matter.
Yeah, very, very interesting there. I like to see what Arkansas looks like with Bobby Petrino there. So the game with the two Power 5 teams, the ACC versus the Big Ten, North Carolina and Minnesota, 7 o'clock Maine Fox. The one thing you're looking at in this game?
I want to see, two things, really. I mean, North Carolina's defense, but Max Brosmer, this quarterback from New Hampshire, how they are raving about how his leadership skills, the team has gravitated towards him, a guy that has got a ton of experience, but nobody is talking about this guy because he plays at Minnesota.
Yeah.
I think with North Carolina, number one, you've got two quarterbacks basically recently that have gone on to play in the NFL, and they've done nothing with those. So, Max Johnson, we've already seen. It's not like this is going to be a surprise quarterback.
Yeah, it's third team that he'll start for.
Yeah.
Started at LSU, Texas A&M, now North Carolina if he starts tonight.
Yeah, so we've seen this guy play, so I don't think you're going to be like, oh, they got a new quarterback, Max Johnson. It's going to be Max Johnson. I think defensively, can you tell a difference from Jeff Collins, who is the current defensive coordinator, looking back in comparison to Gene Chizik, who has been there. So that's what I'm looking for there.
Yeah, North Dakota State, Colorado, 7 o'clock, Maine ESPN tonight. Is there anything beside the Dion show you're looking at here?
I want to see the offensive line. Like North Dakota State can get after the quarterback. I know they're FCS, but Shedeur Sanders was sacked 52 times last year. And if Colorado is going to make any steps forward, any progress at all offensively, they've got to somehow shore up that offensive line. Now, I know Deion Sanders asked what the definition of chemistry was and talked about different things when people brought up this offensive line. But they got to be better. And I think they get a test early on from North Dakota State's pass rush.
What's an alarming number of sacks tonight?
Tonight?
Yeah.
I would say 2.
Yeah. Because he gets you out of a lot of them. So if there's 2, he's probably gotten you out of 4.
If it's 4, I'm going to say
they
there's
got
no
a problem.
change.
Yeah, if it's 4, then you're scared to death about Nebraska.
That's what's amazing is Shedeur had 31 total touchdowns and only 3 picks under that duress all year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so Coastal and Jack State, there's 2 teams that have hopes to contend for their conference championship. What are you looking at for Jack State tonight?
Well, I mean, Rich Rodriguez offense in year 3 now for Coach Rod? Rich Rod, is that right?
I think so.
Yeah, so, this has been a dynamic offense at times, and if they're going to compete with Liberty in Conference USA, can you match them offense for offense? I think tonight against Coastal is a great challenge for that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
For me, it's Coastal Carolina. This is their first year without Grayson McCall since before the pandemic.
That's crazy.
I mean, you guys remember when they came out, it was one of their first years, D1, and Tim Brando was on that weird Fox call in Lawrence, Kansas when Les Miles was the Kansas head coach. And Grayson McCall and Coastal Carolina completely physically whipped them.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
Yeah, and McCall actually took a step back with, Jamie Chadwell going to Liberty last year. And I just wonder what the quarterback situation is going to look like this year.
Alcorn and UAB starts tonight. Trent Dilfer's second year. We've talked about Jacob Zeno. Give me something quickly that you like for UAB tonight.
They've got to improve on defense. I mean, that's just bare bones. When you play the way Zeno played last year and had their record, that's an indictment on awful defense.
Yeah, and I would agree. I think this is an opportunity where if you can pitch a shutout just to give your defense confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Our friends at Woodhouse bringing you that look ahead to what we are seeing tonight in college football. Those 6 games are the highlighted ones on this Thursday night that kicks off the Labor Day opening weekend, Woodhouse Day Spa. It's time to give that free pass for your wife while you get the free pass to watch the game.
I had a couple of cocktails with our friend Stuart, who owns Woodhouse Day Spa, the other night, and we were talking about they've got this newly renovated room which you can use for, bridal parties, bridal showers, get-togethers, just fantastic facilities up at the Summit Shopping Centers. He wants us to come up there and do a show.
All right.
You guys up for doing a little – we talked about the fact that we are not a man's man. We can't do any of that stuff, but we can get facials. We could have robes on, drink a little champagne at the Woodhouse Day Spa.
All in.
But really, this is what you need to do for the wife or girlfriend this weekend because you want to watch college football all day on Saturday. Give her the gift of luxury. Birmingham's best day spa, the Woodhouse Day Spa, located right there at the Summit Shopping Centers. She can choose from a menu of over 70 options, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services, and much more. Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. Order that special person gift 24/7 online right now, birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
Premium content available at covercrimson.com right now, covercrimson.com. One of the most consistent things during the Nick Saban era in Tuscaloosa was Jeff Allen, the head trainer. Emily Grace McWhorter had a long sit-down conversation with Jeff Allen about how he rose to be the top of his profession in college football. You get that right now, premium content at covercrimson.com, covercrimson.com. You can sign up for $1, see how you like the process there. covercrimson.com, covercrimson.com, and that includes Emily Grace McWhorter with Jeff Allen, one of the best ever to do it in his business on the college level. Go check him out, Jeff Allen, covercrimson.com. Not to steal anybody else's script on talking college football, it's very popular around the country to talk about guys who put their hand in the dirt and play in the trenches, and Will Campbell is that guy for LSU. He is so popular with fans because he just looks like a Southern football player. And he's a great interview, talks a mean game. LSU, in what in my eyes is growing to be a tricky game with USC in Vegas on Sunday night, Will Campbell lays it out. Remember, LSU has not won a season opener since Joe Burrow's national championship team.
I love this comment. It's hard to understand. You need subtitles, but I love it.
Here's Will Campbell.
There's a lot of guys on this team, but not only the team, the coaching staff, that we haven't done what we've needed to do the first week of the season, not just since I've been here, but even years previous. And, it's not a good way to start the season off. It kind of, sets the tone the wrong way. And we know that we got to come out, start fast, and we can't take, in the previous years, like we have weeks to build up to our potential. We got to come out rolling this year, and everybody in the building knows that.
Yeah. He is country's cornbread, isn't he? I love it.
And that's not the one I heard. Do you have another one from him?
I do not. No.
Okay, the one I heard was, we're not going to Vegas to go to Caesar's Palace. We're going to get in a street fight.
So Will Campbell wanting to set the tone. They've gotten off to slow starts. Now, one year they recovered to win the West. And last year they underachieved but won the Heisman Trophy.
Well, it's hard to believe that they have lost, that Brian Kelly has never won an opener, that they've lost 5 consecutive openers.
I think I saw this stat right against top 25 teams. If I saw this stat right, against top 25, Brian Kelly has coached 26 games. Do you know what he is?
Against top 25, 26
top
games?
25, 26 games. If I saw this right, I'm going to try to confirm it while y'all are talking.
I would say 14 and 12.
It's either against top 25 or top 10, but 26 sounds a lot against top 10.
Yeah, that sounds a lot.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 10 and 16 against the top 25.
6 and 20 is what I saw.
Ooh.
Yeah. Now, Lincoln Riley is, Riley is not a ton better.
If you went top 10 going back to Notre Dame days, I could believe that. Because you remember when he would get in those situations, they were always outmatched.
Yeah, he is He does not have a good record against top 25 teams. As much as we talk about Brian Kelly being a good coach,
would you say the same things on
is.
the other side on Lincoln Riley? He has a top 25 problem too. Was that what you were saying?
I mean, he's not great against the top 25. No, I'd have to find his actual record. I think Kelly is 3-5 at LSU against the top 10, but I think he's 6-20 overall.
More on North Dakota State and Colorado. Buster only in the next segment. Real quickly, though, North Dakota State, Colorado, from the on-3 evaluation, 4 of the top 20 NIL evaluations, according to On3 Sports, plays on Colorado's teams, including number 1 Shedeur Sanders, whose valuation is $4.7 million, most of that Nike money. But and Travis Hunter is third. So a lot of money, a lot of Louis on the Colorado side tonight as they play host to
$4 million. You know, back to Brown's made this point, and look, I agree we're all going to see these guys be employees one day. But if they allow you to have, eligibility for years and years, I mean, how many guys would stick around for $4 million a year?
A lot.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
It's more than, Stetson Bennett,
yes.
and some people are making Brock Purdy in the pros right now on rookie contracts. Buster's next. Odie's last night, what was the question?
The question was, what came first, Birmingham or Coca-Cola?
It's two great Southern institutions.
It really is.
Oh. Birmingham
having a
and
Coca-Cola on a summer afternoon in Birmingham.
In Birmingham, it's just as American as it gets right there.
I'm going to say Coca-Cola goes back to 1818. And I'm going to say Birmingham started after that. I'm going to go Coca-Cola is older.
Birmingham, 1871. Coca-Cola was either 1886 or 88. So Birmingham actually before Coca-Cola. But these are the little factoids you learn at Odie's Team Trivia. We do it every Wednesday night. Brown was there last night.
Right.
The wonderful Lee Haver was hanging out with us last night. But not only the Wednesday night trivia, just every day you can get great food from Rodney Davis, ice cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Stop into one of those 2 locations today, Crestline, Edgewood. Tell Will Haver and that great staff the next round sent you.
So in the 1880s for Coke, 1894, just shortly after Coke was discovered, is the last time Akron beat Ohio State. 1894. They play again this weekend. We're back in a moment on TNR.
Follow LT on Twitter at @thelancetaylor.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new Chicken Bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the Bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville. Things fall apart. There's even a book about it, but that doesn't mean you have to break the bank to fix them. Ryan Brown here for the next round. Our friends at Mortgage Right have a new renovation option that will make repairs and other home improvements easy. If you've recently purchased a home and find yourself short on cash, or you're looking to buy a fixer-upper, Mortgage Right's renovation loan program can help you spruce up your space. Repairs can be made to your roof, plumbing, flooring, and more with the help of top-notch mortgage professionals. So get your fix by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR. And MLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by, ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Buster Olney in just a second. Really interesting. Malik Neighbors is going to get to wear the jersey number 1 that was the first ever retired jersey in pro football history. Not the actual jersey, the number.
Right.
The Giants retired Ray Flaherty's number back in 1935. The first professional jersey retired. Jersey 1. Malik Neighbors didn't like his jersey options, so he went to the Flaherty family and said, hey, can I wear this? At first they said no, and the more they talked about it, they decided to, yeah, they can do it. So the number will always be retired. They're going to let Malik wear it, and Malik pans out. They may have 2 jerseys retired, number 1, which is I'm always for. Not retiring numbers, retiring names.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to happen more. I mean, if we're here in 1,000 years, Mike Singletary's number is probably going to get pulled out from Chicago Bear lore. Who did he talk to? Like their greatest grand
That's what I was going to say. They tracked somebody down.
Family members, and they had to vote. Apparently, it's in the trust. They had to vote, and they did that. But the Yankees, that's why, you see some Yankee games, you'll see some players with some weird numbers for the Yankees.
Buster is with us. Buster Olney, ESPN, joins us each week on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. First of all, welcome in, Buster. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah, you guys too. Always fun to talk.
Yeah, there are no single digits available if you're a Yankees player, right? I think every single digit is retired now. Am I correct about that?
That's right. And it's always interesting with the Yankees. It's now no longer about who wears number 3 or wear number 5 or wear number 7, because those are not available. It's always who's getting number 13. Like when Jazz Chisholm got number 13 with the Yankees, there seemed to be some significance in that. And Alex Rodriguez, when he wore 13, that was a big deal because those were some of the lowest numbers that were available for Yankee players. But it is going to be, I do kind of hope they do get to a point where, you know what, the real honor is to be, if it's the Cowboys in the Ring of Honor, or if it's the Yankees to be out of Monument Park versus no one's ever allowed to wear that number again. Because in 20, 30 years, you don't want players wearing triple digits in baseball. And that's where it's headed.
Now batting number 107, Smith.
Right field.
Buster, you guys at ESPN Plus have an article up. It's on the homepage of Baseball Today. Better than Bonds in 2001 and Ruth in 1921. How Aaron Judge's season stacks up to the best in Major League Baseball history. If it wasn't for Bobby Witt Jr., he wins a Triple Crown this year. I mean, how good, how monumental. Everybody talks about the long ball, and there's a possibility he's going to break his own American League record of home runs. But just overall, I mean, where really does this season stack for Aaron Judge?
Yeah, and I think it's a fair comparison that they make because you look at the context of when Babe Ruth was doing it. There are 8 teams in the American League, right? And those teams have 6 or 7 pitchers on the teams. Anyone who thinks the sport was as challenging it is now isn't paying attention. When Barry Bonds was there, look, the fact is that, at that time, it was in the PED era. I don't think there's any question we can reach the conclusion Bonds had an advantage over some of the people he's competing against. Not all of them. I think there were a lot more people doing that than a casual fan realizes, but it was an advantage that Bonds has. To see Judge doing what he's doing this year, contending for the Triple Crown, on track where he could break his own American League record for home runs, to be as great as he is and as much of an all-around player as he is, at a time when offensive numbers are down so dramatically because of how relief pitchers are employed and everyone's throwing 100 miles per hour. It's remarkable. The last time I asked Aaron Boone about it, he just looked at me and goes, I'm running out of words, like to describe what he's doing. At this point, it just feels like the Judge and Ohtani have separated themselves from the rest of the sport as offensive players.
And I know we're coming up on the summer of Soto, but having those two guys having these kind of seasons together is pretty historic too, right?
Without a doubt. I mean, at year's end, we're gonna have conversations about who are the greatest tandems of hitters. Whether it's David Ortiz and Manny Ramirez, whether it's Maris and Mantle. I mean, we just haven't seen two teammates do like this, which is why, that situation that happened a couple weeks ago where the White Sox new manager, Grady Sizemore, intentionally walked Juan Soto to get to Aaron Judge, and it set off all of this conversation within the sport about whether or not that was the right thing to do. The unique greatness of those two guys going back to back is something you're just not going to see, which is why it's interesting. This week, I've spoken to a lot of executives around baseball about what do you think the Yankees are going to do with Soto in free agency. And I've had so many of them say Hal Steinbrenner has no choice but to pay Soto whatever he asks for. Like that's their view, that the Yankees, with all that financial power, they need to use it to keep him and keep that tandem together.
Buster Olney is with us, ESPN. He is on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. We had a cool moment Monday night, Buster, that you would appreciate. We spoke at the Selma Quarterback Club here in Alabama, and our SEC reporter, Emily Grace McWhorter, who's a massive Braves fan, was trying to make a point, and she said, if you're a Braves fan in here, raise your hand. Now, we're in the middle of Braves country, a couple of hundred people in this room, and like 5 hands went up. I was like, that's weird.
Wow.
I know.
What is that about?
And the one guy said, there's more Orioles fans here. And everybody cheered for the Orioles because of Gunnar Henderson. The Selma native. And that was pretty cool. It didn't even occur to me when we were in Selma. He's not going to win the MVP because of Judge, but he's probably going to finish top 3 or 4 in the voting. What does that mean for him moving forward?
Oh, man. Well, and he's one of the game stars going forward, not only because he's such a physical player. That's what jumps out. I remember, and forgive me if I told you this story before, but we were talking to Bruce Bochy, the Hall of Fame manager with the Texas Rangers, about the Orioles and about Gunnar Henderson. He goes, man, he looks to hurt the ball when he swings. And he had a couple profanity mixed in there too, just with admiration about how physical Gunnar Henderson is. He's so fast and he's so powerful. Now, after the home run derby, he struggled. And there was that conversation about whether or not the home run derby hurt his swing. He's made some adjustments in recent weeks. He's gotten back to it. But this is a big step forward for people to learn about Gunnar Henderson, the player with the numbers that he's putting up, but also the person. I don't know if you guys are watching during the home run derby. At the beginning of it, he mentioned that he could do a Scooby-Doo imitation. And Eduardo Perez asked him to do that, and it was dead on. He's such a fun personality, so you can understand why all of Selma would gravitate toward a guy like Gunnar Henderson.
There are 4 division races that are really interesting right now, but 2 in the American League, especially when you look at the East and now in the Central. I thought the Guardians had this thing wrapped up, and there comes Kansas City. Now, the Guardians were able to come back and get that win yesterday to snap that losing streak.
Feel like a playoff game, though, with it being a day game and both of them tied for first place.
Yeah, what's going on with Kansas City? I mean, I know they've been steady all year, and I just mentioned Bobby Witt Jr. a little bit ago, but this team's playing really good, consistent baseball.
How about the best record in the American League since the All-Star break? And they are right now in the middle of this unbelievable gauntlet of games against contending teams. And look, in an era in which front offices are really conservative, they don't like to spend money. They don't like to make trades. The Royals have distinguished themselves, during the winter, signing the likes of Michael Wacha, being willing to spend money, and then during leading up the trade deadline, they were one of the most aggressive teams, and they've been helped by that. And have a signature core anchor star like Bobby Witt Jr. for a small market team. He's the Cal Ripken Jr. of this era. In terms of a guy, he signed that big long-term contract during the offseason. He's going to be with the Royals probably his entire career. And guys, let me tell you, he's got some moxie. He reminds me so much of his personality of George Brett, where he is having a blast. and he's a superlative player. And they right now I just got off a Zoom call. We're preparing for Sunday Night Baseball, and we were talking about right now. We started yesterday with 9 teams within 3.5 games of the fight for the best record in baseball. There's such parity at the top like we've never seen before. And wouldn't it be amazing if the Royals, after winning 56 games last year, finished the regular season with the best record in baseball? And their gauntlet continues, by the way. They play 4 games with Houston starting today.
I think it's Braves and Phillies this weekend, right? So
That's
I got to
right.
ask.
That's who Buster has, yeah.
Yeah, I know. I saw that coming up Sunday night. So I can't comment because of where I am, and people think I jinx teams. So I'm just going to go from the chat room. The Braves, according to our people in the chat, not to me, seem to be piecing this together pretty well, and they're playing pretty good baseball right now.
So you're quoting this?
No, this is all from the chat room. I'm not saying the Braves are good and they're in a good place, but they've cut it to 5. And interesting this weekend,
pulled away from the Mets a little bit.
Yeah, pulled away. I mean, it's looking pretty good for the Braves. So say the chat room, not me.
Okay. So I need to put what I'm going to say here into proper context, put me into proper context. I was the guy who 2 years ago wrote off the Braves, right? When they were, 10 games behind the Mets.
We remember.
So that's my predictive power. We just have to get that on the record. I will tell you, just in preparing for Sunday Night Baseball this week, talking to different people around the sport, talking to people within the Braves organization, there is a growing confidence, I think, within that group that, you know what? We have suffered devastating injuries. There's no getting around that. Ronald Acuna Jr., Spencer Strider, Austin Riley recently, Ozzie Albies recently. But if they make the playoffs, this might be the most dangerous team that the Braves have had in several seasons since they won the World Series. Because in recent years, when they reached the postseason, their pitching staff was in tatters. It was worn down to a nub. And guess what? As we go into the last month, they've had only 20 starts all year of pitchers throwing on 4 days rest. They've done a great job during the regular season keeping their starting pitching rested. They've added their bullpen during the year. That pitching staff going into October, if they make the playoffs, Chris Sale, game 1, Max Fried, Lopez, Charlie Morton right now is their 5th starter, Schwellenbach. Like, that is a group that once you get them to October, they could do some damage. And there's also a confidence that, you know what, Austin Riley's going to be back, maybe in the days before the end of the playoffs start. But they feel like if they can hold off the Mets for that last spot in the playoffs, they're going to be a team no one will want to play.
All right, you'll see Phillies and Braves Sunday night, 6 o'clock with Buster and the crew. More on the Braves with a live Pennant Grace, the Pennant Grace on social media. EG and Ush will have that coming up at 12:15 today, 12:15. All right, hey, save this for Buster. We're going to mix college football and Buster's passion, Major League Baseball. Y'all ready for this?
Let's do it.
Buster, UCLA is at Hawaii. Saturday night, 6:30 Central Time. Is that CBS? Is that main CBS for that game?
If it's on that sheet, it is, yeah.
Wow. Main CBS, UCLA at Hawaii. The last time UCLA played at Hawaii, who was the Bruins starting tailback?
Wow. Bruins starting tailback last time.
Now think about it, Buster. There's a reason I would ask you this, Buster.
Yeah, and I'm trying to put that together. Was it Jackie Robinson?
It was Jackie Robinson. Look at Buster. The last time UCLA played at Hawaii, their starting tailback was Jackie Robinson.
I was going to say Deshaun Foster because he's coaching them now.
Yeah, I was going to say Deshaun Foster, too. I can't believe UCLA hasn't played at Hawaii since then.
1938, the last time they played on the Big Island, Buster.
Wow.
And Jackie Robinson. Jackie
that is
Robinson.
A great note.
Yeah, Jackie Robinson, the starting tailback for that game. I think UCLA won like 42-0. It was a blowout.
I would have thought they would have played a lot. It's such a recruiting advantage for UCLA. I'd be playing every other year on the island.
I know.
Yeah.
No, there you go. 6:30 Saturday night. All right, Buster. Have a great weekend. Enjoy Braves Phillies. We'll see you next Thursday.
Okay, guys.
All right, take care.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you, buddy.
Thank you for being here.
Buster with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Johnston RV Center, by the way. Today's the 29th. You got a couple more days in August to take advantage of and get ready for tailgate season, that end of the year pricing. They've got the pricing, the best you'll see it right there at Johnston RV Center, the RV showcase for the end of the summer. JohnstonRVCenter.com, I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Starting at $14,995. That's where you'll find new and pre-owned travel trailers. How about fifth wheels? $397 a month. And that RV warranty forever. Make sure that you've got a lifetime warranty on anything new and qualifying used. See more, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Real quickly here. before we jump back to that amazing stat Brown gave us, it's time for a Grace tree service. Let's clean up some dead wood.
I've got some I got to clean up, too.
As Jay says, dead wood, Hawaii is actually not on the Big Island.
Okay. I've got other dead wood I need to clean up.
And we're off.
And we're off with the dead wood.
Hey, look, if you've got dead wood.
Yeah. My 4 downs. I'm going to clean up that from last night. That was horrible.
God.
My 4 downs. I'm sorry I tried to do that.
Please, let's move on.
And what's your other thing?
Hey, by the way, I just asked Tyler if you want to do another one. I think you heard them in the back room giving true thoughts on what they believed.
I mean, it sucked.
Okay.
It sucked. I was just trying to help out.
Yes. Okay. You want to tell
this Dunaway in the locker room walking
around? We
around?
did all of our dead wood,
Okay,
and then
here
he
we go.
reads the spot.
So the 6-20 record was actually Brian Kelly versus the AP top 10. So not top 25.
10. That's very different. Yeah.
It is very different, but still bad. 6-20.
Yeah.
Lincoln Riley, 5-6. So he's had 11 games. He's 5-6
against top 10.
This is against top 10.
That's not bad.
Your winning records of current college football coaches that have coached any significant games against top 10. There might be some guy that's 1-0.
I know Kirby's lost 5.
Kirby's 21-8 actually.
Okay,
21-8 versus top 10.
He beats everybody but Saban.
So if you take out Saban,
I know.
Kirby's pretty dang good.
Dabo's 18-13.
Anything over 500 is good in this situation.
Kalen DeBoer is 4-1. He's got very limited, but he's 4-1. Ryan Day is at 8-7. He's over 500, but barely.
Yeah, dang Michigan. Take
How
Michigan
about
out.
DeBoer 80%?
Everybody else has a losing record. So in college football, anybody that's coached any significant games against the top 10, 4 guys have a winning record.
Real
Show
quick,
you how hard that is to do.
If you win 80% of your games, you are the best coach in the history of college football.
Zero doubt about it.
DeBoer's won
Saban's in the
80% against
70s, right?
top 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. Let me clean that up. That was
So
against
Caleb
top 10.
DeBoer is going to be the best coach in the history of college football. One.
Yeah. Let me see if I messed up anything else here.
Before people jump on that was
sarcasm.
Yeah,
is what that was.
I do think he's going to be really good, though.
All right. So we got everything's good so far, I think. Gray's tree service, all our dead wood.
Yeah, not necessarily everything is great in your yard. You could have the, I think they're pine beetles.
Oh, you don't want those.
Yeah, and they actually they tear the pines up. The pines die. It's weird how a pine can live 40 years and then you get it on your property, it dies. You got to get it extracted. These things happen. Just had 4 trees extracted a couple of months ago. That's how I met our friends at Gray's Tree Service. Family owned and operated for over 25 years right here in Birmingham. Trusted by nearly every golf course in town. The Birmingham Zoo, there is no competition. Gray's maintains a fleet of specialized cranes and lifts to get the job done right and prevent damage to your home. Probably seen them rolling around town. Call them today if you've got any removal you need. Experts in high risk tree removals, pruning, soil health treatment to strengthen your trees and plants as well. 205-281-6100. You can scan the QR code that Scotty has put up there or visit them at graystree.com.
Always enjoy cleaning up our dead wood, the phrase we use when we make mistakes on the show. There'll be more still to come. So much so we have a title sponsor for it now. Pretty amazing down at Florida as they get ready to play this weekend against Miami, maybe a feature on SEC Nation. They have the heaviest player in college football, defensive tackle Desmond Watson, weighs in this year at 449 pounds. Defensive tackle.
I don't think you can. You can't be a good 449.
I don't think you can be effective at that way, can you?
I don't think so.
I mean, Terrence Cody was massive, and that guy played at 350. Is that right for Terrence Cody?
Maybe up to 370.
Yeah.
I think he was 360, 365.
Tyler weighing in
right.
Terrence Cody's weight. So Tyler's probably right. 360, 365. And that was massive. This guy is 80 pounds bigger.
Do we have a picture of him?
Forster may be able to find a picture of him. 449.
I remember seeing him last year.
And here's the twist to this. Florida also has the tallest player in basketball now, incoming freshman Olivier Raoul from France. He was 7'6" when he committed to Florida last year over the summer. Here's Big Desmond. You see him on the screen.
My gosh.
Yeah.
That is massive.
That's a normal-sized human he's tackling.
Look how
that
much
looks like one of
bigger.
those social media NFL things where they have the real person and they have the tiny person. They've shrunk down the real person.
No, it
running
looks
away.
like if you put I showed you that video of the dude feeding the bear last night. The bear jumps on him. It looks like if you put a helmet on a bear.
Yep. He's getting after him, man. So either he ran into trouble or he caught trouble. One of the two.
Oh, man. If he lands squarely on you, it is lights out.
Look at that guy. He's got the ball in his hand, guys.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Oh, could you imagine him
That ball looks like a Rolo in his hand.
I love Rolos. Hey, Desmond, can I have one of those? 449. So watch him this week. And Ryu, when he plays for Florida this year, 7'6" when he signed. He showed up on campus. He grew 3 inches. He's 7'9".
Wow. He's got to slow down.
7'9".
Oh,
yeah, that's getting too tall.
That's dangerous.
But nothing compares to this. Maybe you don't want to share your thoughts on this out loud.
Okay.
Maybe just in your head. But 50 years ago today, Moses Malone became the first high school player to go straight from high school to professional basketball. He signed a $1 million contract 50 years ago, which was a lot of money back then. 4-year, $1 million, $250,000 a year, to go play for the Utah Stars of the ABA. He was 6'10". His dad was 5'6". His mom was 5'2". He grew to be 6'10".
I mean, if you're his dad...
just scoring at home,
no,
Brown.
No.
Yeah,
if you're
just
his
the
dad,
tail of the tape.
In the back of your mind, every single day, you've got to wonder, don't you? In the back of your mind, every single day. Unless he is the actual spitting image of me. Yeah. If I'm his dad, I can't get past that, Lance.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Every single day, I've got to wonder.
Yeah,
the only Moses I know parted seas, so I'm not going to make any assumptions.
Well, you see the FedEx dude rolling up, and he's like 7 feet, and you're like, he shows up a lot.
He's got a duck to get out of the truck.
Yes. Dad 5'6", mom 5'2". Moses grew 6'10" when he left high school, where he left on a 50-game win streak, back-to-back state championships.
If I'm his dad, there's not a day that goes by that I don't wonder.
Yeah, and now 23andMe, we can sort that out.
Now, Mr. B and old Paul Harvey voice, he's got the rest of the story. How tall were the grandparents?
I don't know.
I don't have that part of the information. I left that up to the imagination. All right, when we come back, more college football. Our Thursday tradition is back. Brown has that for us. And we'll talk about the games going on tonight and this weekend. Don't forget, we got Friday games too. A couple interesting ones. One, maybe two sneaky games. Maybe 3 good games on Friday night. One of them involves an Alabama opponent upcoming. We'll talk about some of the games still to come. Show being brought to you today by our wonderful friends at the Pants Store. Are you ready for the games? That includes not just your tailgate food, but what are you wearing to the game, especially the ladies out there. If you've got a daughter or wife that's going to the game with you, a girlfriend, or just somebody who's got a seat right next to you somehow. You want them to look great, right? Rompers and dresses, they have them at the Pants Store. Pantstore.com, pantstore.com. Western boots, Hokas, New Balances. The footwear for the ladies are there as well. And don't forget the Pants Store, Birmingham, 6 locations. 2 in Birmingham, 1 in Huntsville, 1 in Leeds, 1 in Tuscaloosa, and 1 in Auburn. They're your game day headquarters. All the Bama and Auburn polos, the hats, the quarter zips, and everything else from the name brands like Gentile and Antigua, Horn, Legend, and Cutter and Buck. It's all right there with free alterations and free gift wrapping. Nothing says Roll Tide and War Eagle like the Pants Store, pantstore.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at jimdunaway.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
You never know what we're up to here at the Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow the Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunceford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Hey, you. School's coming back. Time to gear up. And at New Balance Birmingham, we know what's up. Before hitting the books, check out the looks. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Back with you on the next round as we get ready for the NFL season. A week from today, we start the season off with the Ravens and the Chiefs. A couple of quarterbacks named yesterday. Russell Wilson will start for Pittsburgh in week 1. Jacoby Brissett will start for New England in week 1. Don't know how quickly you'll see Justin Fields in Pittsburgh and Drake May in New England, but you got to assume it's going to be fairly quick.
I mean, this goes without saying, but how good is it when you can start college football on a Thursday night? We get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday college football. Then you only have to take 2 nights off before you're right back around to Thursday night and the NFL starting.
That is fantastic. It is time now for our Spotlight Today, the Thursday tradition, brought to you by our friends at Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Provider, 205-512-3885, precisionsportsortho.com/2024. For your tweaks, your pulls, your pains, and the breaks, diagnose them, treat them, and rehab them. That's what the folks at Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics do. Locations in Fultondale and Jasper and Alabaster and all around the Birmingham metro area. It is orthopedic care that's better together. LT and I trust these guys so much. Not only do we go there, we send our daughters there when needed. We trust them because they're the best in the business. Find your provider today. Call 205-512-3885, precisionsportsortho.com/2024.
The College Football Spotlight.
College football's best traditions.
So we're going to go to the Sunday night game for this tradition, and I don't even know if the tradition will be there. I hope, but I don't know.
Vegas has a tradition?
Vegas does not have a tradition, but one of the teams in the game in Vegas has a great tradition. Not only does USC have the greatest fight song in all of college football, and that is not debatable. The USC fight song is the best there is.
You can make a case, greatest cheerleading outfit.
You really like the song girl outfits. I do too.
Yeah.
What red-blooded male American doesn't like the song girl outfits, right?
It's almost like their sweaters are almost like what did they have, that perfect brawl, the perfect push-up brawl from Victoria's Secret, where everything looked great.
Maybe
they throw that sweater on, everything looks proportional.
Yeah, maybe they just have perfect people. They go through a cast of thousands.
I don't think they have a very large cheer squad, right?
I don't know.
If you go,
I can only see them 2 at a time, Brown.
If you go power ranking cheer squad, you start with the song girls, you end with the painters from Texas A&M, the guy cheerleaders.
Yeah, that's
everything else is in between.
Yeah.
But I know what's number 1 and I know what's number 133. I'm well aware.
Yeah.
They also have Traveler. Traveler's the horse guy.
Love Traveler.
Made his first appearance at a USC foot. Look at that photo, Lance. How does that not get you fired up? First USC football game back in 1961. It was the home opener against Georgia Tech.
Do you know that they actually it was one of their first like scientific Nobel Peace Prize winners brought that sword. It's actually an extended dagger. He bought it in an auction over in Milan.
How about that? I did not know
and
that.
And it actually was used to assassinate 3 emperors.
Yeah.
I'm just making that up.
That is totally made up. Traveler is an Arabian Tennessee Walker horse.
Expensive?
Or a Spanish Andalusian. It's primarily a Spanish Andalusian now.
Of course, USC using a Tennessee and SEC power walking horse.
That's right. In the fall of 2004, this is how beloved this horse is. 2 USC alums donated $2 million to provide a permanent endowment for Traveler. And he is now bred at a Hidden Valley ranch. Not the ranch, but
I love it. It's good on anything.
Yes, near Thousand Oaks, California. It's known as the home of Traveler. But did you know that before there was Traveler, USC had a canine mascot?
Oh, I did not know this.
Look at this. It was a mutt named George Tirebiter.
Hey, do we need an outfit? No, just run down to the bookstore and buy an old school pennant.
Hey, look how jacked up his tail is.
Oh, yeah, it's a mutt, Lance.
He's got a fro on the back of the tail.
When I was a kid, we used to call this a Heinz 57. I don't know if y'all use that phrase or if that was just a Calhoun County thing, but it was a Heinz 57. He had a lot of varieties.
Definitely a high Calhoun County thing.
Yeah. Really? Y'all didn't use that over here? We used to call a mutt a Heinz 57.
No, we had that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we did.
Tirebiter was adopted by students who became a campus hero. He was mean and nasty, they say. But he reached true fame because he attacked the Cal human mascot during a game in 1947.
Wow.
So after that, he became the semi-permanent mascot up until 1950 when he was run over by a car and was killed.
Run over by a car.
100%. I am not making this part up.
Way to take care of your mascot, guys.
So
no leash laws back then.
For 10 years, they had no mascot there until at a Rose Bowl parade, 2 USC alums saw Traveler, and they said, there's our new mascot. Yeah. And ever since then, Traveler has been roaming the sidelines.
They're going to bring that old car from Atlanta for this game. We're going to surprise them. We're going to have a horse.
I hope Traveler's there in Vegas. I don't know. But that is your college football tradition.
I like that a lot. That's our tradition today. I did not know that. Sometimes you do a tradition, I'm like, I knew that one.
What part did you not know?
I never knew about
George
the dog.
Tirebiter?
I never knew about the dog.
I actually didn't know about the dog.
You did?
Yeah.
No, I did not.
You did not. You're a USC fan.
I've watched, I don't know, 100 games, and I've never seen them bring up Tirebiter.
Oh, George Tirebiter.
Biggie Rad down in Baldwin County in the mybookie.ag chat room. Promo code next round. Get your first-time donation doubled right now if you use the promo code next round. He says down in Baldwin County, they use Heinz 57 to describe a mutt as well.
Yeah, I wasn't born in downtown Chicago, but I think this might be more of a rural.
Yeah, 100%. It could be rural, yeah.
You are. I mean, Homewood is metropolitan. I mean, if
much different, because we were talking about, Brown, were you in the conversation the other night on where people went to school? And I was like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, Homewood, like, I think there was 2 or 3 people that went to Tuscaloosa with me.
Yeah, Lunceford's right, by the way. That segment including a Hidden Valley Ranch horse and a Heinz 57 dog. It's all about the condiments here.
True. We love the food here. We love the food.
Hill County checking in. Heinz 57 down there, too. Bubba Head. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, very rural.
Yeah. Very good. I mean,
I hope they cover George Tirebiter on the game Sunday night, now that I've brought it up.
I mean, I would think it's, I don't know. They need to. I mean, if anybody knew that, they would bring it up. Because Traveler is such a well-known mascot.
I'll send it to Fat. You want me to send it to Chris Fowler? Is that who's doing the game? I think so.
Feel free to send it.
I'll see.
Yeah, see if we can get a little love.
I mean, I would start by just sending it to your buddy Reese Davis on College Game Day. It'd be a good little note as they're from College Station.
That's right.
Hey, don't forget tomorrow night on ESPN.
Oh, George Tirebiter. If he was still
you're
with us.
going to be out at USC. Yeah. You may not know this. I didn't know it until my buddy Ryan Brown at Next Round in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Home of the Cover Crimson and the BarnAuburn.com.
Yeah, but the last time we gave somebody on a broadcast a little nugget about USC football, they used it for themselves, didn't give us any credit.
I do remember that.
Yeah. I love the tradition. Look forward to that every Thursday. Tomorrow, we have the Pick 3 that is back. Lunceford's putting that together, ready to go. Unlike a few years ago when I had the pod system that sucked.
Yeah, nobody liked that.
I think that was year 1 we did that.
Yeah.
We're going to be like it was last year where you can pick your own games. But once again, you got to go online, nextroundlive.com, nextroundlive.com to make the plays. It'll be up tomorrow, and you'll have until the kicks on Saturday to do it. No Thursday night, no Friday night games, and that'll be brought to you by friends at Buffalo Wild Wings again this year. We look forward to enjoying that. Pick 3 again this year, and I got to be better. I sucked last year as Pick 3. I got to throw my system away.
It shows how hard it is to do just to find 3 winners against point spread, because we give you the entire slate. You can pick any 3, and the vast majority of people don't get 3-0.
A lot of 2-1s.
You get a lot of 2-1s and 1-2s. You know what that is? That's a loser in the Pick 3.
Pick 3 coming
Buffalo
back.
Wild Wings Pick 3.
Yeah,
try to go 3.
Really quick there. Pick 3. It's up now.
Yes.
Oh, how about that?
Lunceford delivering a day early. A day early. It's like the Thanksgiving newspaper back in the day.
The old Black Friday
Black
ads?
Friday. The Thanksgiving newspaper a day early. You get the Friday ads.
That's right.
You could get them a day early. Lunceford delivering the Pick 3 a day early. So go to the website. nextroundlive.com, and we'll get there and do the pick 3, so I can try my new formula out tonight, maybe, or this afternoon whenever I got time.
Do you have a new formula?
I don't. I said I've got to get a new one, so I got to figure something out.
Why don't you throw darts?
It's got to be well thought out, Jim. You're doing it the day before the game.
Or put, I know you're keeping the dogs right now. Why don't you put like different foods?
Oh, he's right about that, yeah.
I could put one team's the visiting team, one team's the home team, and throw the little stuffed toy and see who gets it first.
Yeah.
Because they fight for him. It's a good fight.
Yeah. I mean, that's as good a shot as you've got doing anything else.
Try it.
Yeah.
Do I videotape it? Queen of Content would say yes.
Yeah, I'd definitely video it, yeah.
You know what I'd like to see? I'm not going to say it because she may be doing it already, and I don't want to give it away. So.
I know who the guest picker is going to be tomorrow. On3 just reported it. Or Saturday, excuse me.
Who's that?
They're in College Station.
Yeah.
In College Station.
Don't overthink it.
They're not bringing out former game day host Trev Alberts.
They are not. No.
Okay.
Matt McConaughey? I'm kidding.
It would be funny.
Johnny Manziel.
It is Johnny Manziel. Johnny Football is going to be your guest picker this Saturday, according to On3 Sports.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
If you represent Johnny, are you like, hey, this is a big day for you. You go on there, you cut it up, you have a little chemistry, we might be able to get you a gig out of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you show that you're good in front of the camera, you've got a big enough name.
Okay, so you say go professional.
I would.
And so that you could get
well,
a gig
I would
on
be
ESPN
professionally
or Fox.
fun. Like don't
be safe, but represent yourself.
Just, have fun, be loose, be Johnny Manziel, but show a little personality, but at the same time, a comfort zone for yourself.
Yeah.
I think he could get something
strike that happy medium. Is what you're saying.
Another angle would be to be, way out there and over the top and try to go the Barstool route. And
I don't think that it works for some when they do it long enough.
Right.
It's going to be,
the next Pat McAfee is Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to out McAfee on that set. That's
could be
that's
Jason
be a
Kelsey because Travis Kelsey's so busy. He's still
but if
playing.
it doesn't hit right, to me, I don't really like that anyway. But if it really doesn't hit, it
get ready
falls
for
flat.
this moment for Nick Saban to say, guys, let me tell you how hard this guy was to defend.
100%.
Nick Saban will sing his praises.
Yeah, 100%. You mentioned Jason Kelsey, Travis Kelsey, 2 movies, big contract, still playing with the Kansas City Chiefs. Dan is dating Taylor Swift. He bought a 3-year-old horse who has won its last 2 starts. Could make its way into the Kentucky Derby this year. He's now part owner of Swift Delivery, the name of the horse. Swift Delivery.
You know a lot about Travis Kelsey. You have facts every day on him.
That's Katie Couric, I bet.
These are all.
I know, but are you a fan?
My daily newsletters. I do like Travis Kelsey because he dates Taylor. No, I like Travis Kelsey. He's a good player. He's good if he's on your fantasy team.
Yeah,
usually.
that's for sure.
But Swift Delivery, not named after Taylor Swift. He just liked the name, so he jumped in and bought the horse.
Yeah, he will have a hyphen in his name. I could see that.
Kelsey Swift.
Why not? All right, top of the hour, one more hour to go on this kickoff to a 96-game college football weekend. When we come back, more college football. We'll talk about what is. Let's do this. First question up. We got several questions in the next segment.
Okay.
First question up. Is Florida closer to 2-10 or 10-2? We'll kick it off the final hour with that question. The show being brought to you by our wonderful friends at New York Butcher Shop. We mentioned them earlier today on the show. It's a grilling weekend if you like football.
Yeah, stop into the New York Butcher Shop, see our friend Jim, maybe some of those smash burgers already prepared, ready to flatten out on that Blackstone for you. Some of the great steaks, chicken, ribs, they've got it all. Specialty items, including the sides like the goat cheese mashed potatoes, the mac and cheese. They've got asparagus, great soups, salads already prepared as well, with a fine selection of great wines and desserts. The New York Butcher Shop, one-stop dinner shop, 2 locations, Highway 119 in Greystone, the original in Cabo Heights. Get in and see Jim and the fine folks there. Rare quality, well-done service. It is the New York Butcher Shop.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're You're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late-night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or the Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Excitement awaits at Barber Motorsports Park for the Fanatec GT World Challenge America. September 6th through the 8th. It's a high-octane weekend you won't want to miss. Witness some of the most iconic sports cars like Lamborghini, McLaren, Porsche, and Ferrari battling it out on the track. Enjoy the beer gardens, kids zone, and don't forget to bring your dog for bark at the park on Saturday. The Fanatec GT World Challenge America, September 6th through the 8th. Kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets today.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Tyler, if you can get me cut number 7 ready here. This hour brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Perfect for lunch right now. Open and ready to go. Sterling and his crew, best customer service out there. And the best chicken. And somebody asked yesterday, I don't understand Mississippi Delta recipe tamales.
Well, it's not to understand.
I don't, he was like, his thoughts were, he said in the chat room yesterday, I don't think of Mississippi when I think of tamales. Well, then you don't know your tamales, because throughout the Mississippi Delta and into Louisiana, some of the best tamales in the world. They even have a tamale trail that you can take. It is it's the best recipe. It comes with a little heat to them. It's so good. You give those a try. Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Before we get back to some of the games on the field as we kick off football tonight, another good moment at Arkansas yesterday. Danny Stutzman is the linebacker, right? Plays for Arkansas. Mm-hmm. He's got an NIL deal. And he's got some respect as well for those that aren't even on scholarship. Danny Stutzman making an announcement in front of the team yesterday.
I remember talking to Silos, and I wanted to send them the walk-ons. I remember Chris Hamming did that, a few months ago, and I was really moved by that. And so, obviously there's days where you feel like your hard work doesn't get seen, doesn't get noticed, but it really does here at Oklahoma. And every single day we appreciate you guys. This team would be nothing without you guys. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I truly do mean that. And I feel like I have a really good connection with all you guys, and I just know how much you guys put into this program, and sometimes you think it's not seen, but it is. And so with that being said, I want to donate some of my NIL earnings to you guys, so you guys can have a little something else after the meetings. This will be in your lockers. So
and I said Arkansas. It's Oklahoma, obviously, for Danny Stutzman.
That's pretty awesome.
That is awesome. And
$50,000 each for the walk-ons is what Danny Stutzman.
How much is Danny Stutzman making?
That's the most amazing part of this
because
story.
that was like 10 walk-ons.
$50,000 each for the walk-ons.
Look, and I know everybody's got strong opinions on NIL. I get it. And I know it's different than what you're used to in college sports. But I think back to some of the, and I'm just, I hate to broad brush stereotype, but a lot of the old heads were like, it's going to ruin college football. It's only going to be the quarterback getting money. It's going to tear apart the locker room. And I used to make the point, Wimp was famous for saying this, and I used to say, Wimp, in the NFL, the quarterback makes a lot of money. The 53rd man on the roster makes the league minimum. Somehow those locker rooms manage that.
They get along, right?
They get along. It'll happen in college football. And I just think it was insulting to players like Danny Stutzman for everybody to say that we think these guys just don't have it in them to do things the right way. That's doing things the right way. The guy makes money, and he's like, hey, I see some guys on this team that don't make as much, and I'm going to help them out. Yep. It was just so insulting to just assume every college football player was going to be the greediest person on earth, and the quarterback was going to go out and get $10 million, and nobody was going to get anything. And people were so wrong about that.
Tyler has found his valuation at $305 at On3. So he gets more than that. That's the valuation of street cred. So whatever you get done with the boosters there.
Okay, but let's just say that it is $300,000. He just gave away. He's minus $200,000 in the
$200
in the black.
So
the red.
There were some other articles reporting that the total amount
was $50,000.
That makes a lot more sense.
So that would be $5,000 each for the 10 walk-ons.
Okay, I believe
makes
that.
more sense.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Now to our question for Florida, as we get back to the games on the field. 2-10, 10-2. Florida's closer to which one of those numbers? 2-10 or 10-2 this season?
Well, I think they're going to scratch out a 7-5 this year, and that
by math that would be 10-2.
Makes them closer to 10-2. Only barely, but closer to 10-2.
I think it's going to be 6-6. I think
right
it's
in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would lean more. Can you give me the final score Saturday?
Boy, that's the key to me going
really
7-5.
Yep.
Yeah. Would I give it to you here, or would I give it to you in Vegas?
If you just give me that one score, I think I could generate enough.
If they win this game Saturday, and I've talked myself into Florida winning this game, Lance, so I'll give you the final score. Florida something more than Miami something. I can't give you the total score, but Florida wins, and that covers. That's all you really want to know.
Yeah, if Florida wins this game, I think they could win 7 games.
I think that's the path to 7. And if they win this one, and we'll learn, listen, we've been talking about this schedule all summer long. If they win this one, I think they've got a good shot of starting no worse than 4-1 because they should beat Samford, A&M, at State, and then UCF. I think they could split A&M and UCF and be 4-1. And how do you feel about Florida? You know the end of the schedule is bad, but if they're 4-1, I think you feel different about this team, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that schedule all summer. And I agree with you guys. I like them at 6-6 or 7-5, and Billy Napier keeping his job. So I'll go closer to 10-2 myself.
We've talked about the schedule all summer. You already view Florida State differently at the end of that schedule than you did before Saturday, right?
Right.
Let me just play a what-if game for you here. What if Notre Dame beats Texas A&M and A&M kind of looks just What if USC beats LSU? Now you view that schedule a lot differently.
Yeah, you do.
So, I mean, let's see some of this play out Saturday and see what these teams are really like on this back-breaking schedule.
Well, and we make so many knee-jerk reactions just off of one game. I'll give you an example. Florida State loses on a last-second field goal to Georgia Tech. Now they go from being the favorite in the ACC to Clemson's now your favorite, and Miami has got the second shortest odds to win the conference.
Who hasn't even taken a snap yet. Yeah.
And then on Sunday, it could look different again.
Because Clemson could get run off the field, and Miami could get beat easily.
And North Carolina could beat Minnesota tonight, and they could sneak up a little bit. More Virginia Tech money comes rolling in, and it can all change very quickly.
I don't know what the story of Week 1 is going to be, but I will say, and this is a massive if Florida goes out and wins this game and looks impressive doing it, like we never talk about what if Florida wins this game by 14?
Yeah.
What if?
Well, I
mean,
tell
if they
you,
do that, they may be the story of week one.
In my belief, Billy Napier, it's been a slow burn so far. It's been underachieving by Florida standards, but he has the more experienced players.
He does.
He's got a more experienced team that's played together. I think Billy Napier is a better coach than Mario Cristobal. I don't know.
It's a hard argument to make, though, Jim.
I don't know if he's going to be able to prove that someday. But if I was hiring,
you
I would
can't
hire,
make that.
I would hire Billy Napier before I would hire Mario Cristobal.
Don't know if I would.
Yeah, I don't know if I would either.
That's a hard argument to make.
Now, Napier did a really good job at Louisiana, right? But Cristobal
did a good job at Oregon.
He did a really good job at Oregon.
Yeah.
He won a Pac-12 championship.
I felt
or
like
two.
I really feel like you're changing your tone, Brown.
No,
but I feel like you both are because you have
no.
said forever that he's a good Sunday to Friday coach.
He is.
I've got to. All I have said about Billy Napier is I think Florida should retain him if it's not a complete disaster. I think he can end up being a really good coach. I haven't seen it. Louisiana did a really good job there. Cristobal, I mean, I'm not a big fan, but I think he's more proven.
All I'm going to say is they have both had one primo job to this point. And Napier at his is about to get fired if he can't pull something out of his you-know-what. And Cristobal was 35-13, 23-9 in conference. I mean,
at Oregon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, at their primo job.
Miami's a primo job, too, relatively speaking. It's in the ACC, and it's got a huge tradition.
And it's a mid-tier job.
He left Oregon to go to it.
He did.
Well, because he played there.
Yeah, that was puzzling.
And he had that booster in the pocket, too, and you wonder if...
By the way, that booster in the pocket, his business has turned south.
It has, but you wonder if Cristobal had... I don't know. I mean, the Oregon situation's interesting because you had Taggart take off, you had Cristobal take off, and you just wonder if there's some power players up there that if you're not on the right side of it, if it's kind of a contentious situation.
Dan Lanning talks like he'll be there forever. We'll get one thing I want to ask you about Alabama. I got to ask a question today I could not give an answer to, so I want your answer. It's brought to you by our friends at Dr. B. The guys changed LT's hairline and trying to bring brownies back.
Yep, trying to work on that. Again, I'm all about maintaining now. Started to thin out when we started this venture over 3 years ago. Dr. B is the man I went to see. For more than 20 years, women and men have turned to Dr. Beckenstein for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training in genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. Call Dr. B today, 205-319-0316. That's 205-319-0316. I do the non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. That is all I'm doing. My hair has more than doubled in thickness. For more information, t3hair.net.
Here's Jamarcus Shepard, wide receivers coach in Tuscaloosa. Dynamic recruiter. I mean, every big recruit Alabama seems to get. Courtney Morgan and James Shepard seem to have at least some fingerprints on the big recruits that have rolled in this recruiting class coming up and that'll sign in December. But now it's time for that wide receiver core to hit the field this weekend. He was asked about how many wide receivers will play this weekend. Here's Jamarcus Shepard.
I don't know who's going to play at this point, really. There's a lot of guys who have been out there, been rotating a lot of people at various positions even. So the expectation is if you go out there on the field, you perform at a high level, stay on out there and keep performing, okay? All right? If you don't, come stand by me, okay? All right? And that's just the reality of it. They know and understand it. When they see this video, they gonna know what that means, okay? All right.
That means come stand by me. His head coach said 6, maybe 7.
Yeah.
That's what his head coach said.
Clint Lamb, who does our inside work at covercrimson.com, just fascinating, great information. He says 5 for sure that he knows, and how much the other 2 or 3 or 4 get depends on maybe the game situation, but early on, he's got 5 guys that he puts a tab on pretty easily. You can read all of Clint's stuff, both normal content or premium content. No mention of a word wall there at covercrimson.com. Covercrimson.com. Go and subscribe today. So here's the question I was asked. I was on with SiriusXM with Danny and Dusty this morning, and they said Dusty's doing the game, so he's coming to the game, and he's like, Jim, when I get to Bryant-Denny Stadium on Saturday night, Dusty, it's Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium. I get this right now. And then he fought by, no, it's not yet, Jim. It's not Saban Field until
a couple weeks
in fact, we got a picture. If you're wondering what it's going to look like, it's going to look normal over at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Greg Burns sending it out earlier today. Just a normal setup. You don't see any Saban field anywhere on the field or hanging. They're saving that for the South Florida game. So that'll be unveiled a little bit later on, but not this weekend. It's still coming. Almost go time, says Greg Byrne in Tuscaloosa. But he asked me, he says, what are Alabama fans most looking forward to seeing in Tuscaloosa? What do you think they're watching when they get there with a new coach and everything? And my answer to them was, I think you hit it right there. It's just a new coach and everything. You want to see what it looks like without Nick Saban.
Yeah, and I think the expectation for most Alabama fans is this offense to be really, really good. I mean, you just look at what Washington was able to achieve offensively over the last couple of years, and you bring DeBoer in. We saw how Milroe played down the stretch. You've got a really good offensive line, really good running backs, talented receivers that have yet to live up to their potential. But I think it's going to be all about Kane Womack's defense, because with Nick Saban, you know, the offenses became incredible. But early on in Tuscaloosa winning championships, it was about defense. And you never really worried about a Nick Saban defense, from Kirby Smart to pick your coordinator. And now you've got a new regime in there, and you just wonder, like Alabama fans.
They might have worried a little bit about Pete Golding's defense.
Oh, yeah, I mean, maybe. Okay, so like I'll give you an example. Let's fast forward to the Georgia game. Well, I think if you beat Georgia in any way, you're going to be fine. Tennessee, they beat Tennessee 42-41. People are going to be like, what the hell's going on?
Boy, that defense is going to get us beat. I know we won, but that defense is going to get us beat.
I think you are right. I think it's more about just seeing a sideline without Nick Saban and seeing Kalen DeBoer over there, seeing just how different things look. But I think the defense is going to be what is under the microscope early.
And I think Lance is right about that. But I think also, like, let's don't pretend like in these not made for TV games, these guarantee games that open the season, Nick Saban's teams always look crisp and on point. They didn't, right? I know he's the best that's ever done it, but you know, when they were opening against a Western Carolina or whoever it was, they weren't always crisp and on point. There were some sloppy times, you know, holy crap, what's going on? Now, generally, when they played in those made-for-TV games, they were crisp and on point.
Yeah.
You know, understandably. I think Alabama fans want to see a sideline that doesn't appear to be in disarray. You don't have to call a timeout because you got 12 men on the field. The sideline looks like they know what's going on. It's insane that I'm saying this because I'm talking about a coach that just coached for the national championship. Like, this guy has coached a long time. He knows how to run a sideline. But I think there are a lot of Alabama fans that want to just look at that sideline and see that it's in control, that it looks like what they're accustomed to, right?
Organization.
Yeah. And I know that's kind of a boring thing to watch, but you know most of the players already. Alabama fans don't know this coach. They don't know Kalen DeBoer. This will be they've heard interviews with him, 4 with us, and whoever else he's been on with. This is the real introduction. What's he do on Saturday?
MyBookie.ag chat room, promo code next round. That gets you a double your deposit, doubles it up. Your first deposit there, initial deposit at mybookie.ag. Chris says he wants to watch Ryan Williams. Can he become a beast with some size? And he hopes Mbakwe is a star at Alabama as well. 2 guys there. You know, I don't know if Mbakwe's on the first wave of DBs that'll be out there. I think Zabian is the newcomer that may be on the first wave of defenders out on the backside. A good depth chart breakdown of how he projects the depth chart from Clint there at covercrimson.com as well.
And I think Landmine Believer's onto something. Alabama typically vanilla in these games. And when you look at the schedule, it's really interesting because I think if it's not the Alabama brand, like if this was Florida and you look at this schedule, if Florida opened up with Western Kentucky, then South Florida, then at Wisconsin and Georgia, I mean, you could be like, damn, they really, if things broke the wrong way, they could be 1-3. Now, Alabama, you expect them to worst case be 3-1, but the opponents get harder each and every week. So you wonder how much Kalen DeBoer is really going to roll out there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, what do you show is basically what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you've got to show much. I think you're going to be able to go up and down the field on Western Kentucky. You just run it 30 straight times, and you're probably going to have success. But, you know, South Florida, their defense wasn't good last year, but you're going to have to be able to score because they will put some points up. And then on the road against Wisconsin, it gets a little more difficult, and then real deal comes in end of September.
Yeah, so everyone has a comment on what they'll be watching this weekend. Tomorrow on the show, we may touch on some concerns we may have or you may have. Always appreciate all the hundreds of comments every day from you guys over in the mybookie.ag chat room, mybookie.ag promo code next round over there. We appreciate you guys so much for being with us. Show always brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. We come to you from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios right here, and always love getting out to the race course on a football weekend as well. They have a lot of fun games out there if you want to get out there. The Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, and they have some little pick'em games you can play there with little football on Saturday and Sunday. A lot of fun stuff to do out there. All right, when we come back, trash is part of the conversation, and a new theme song for the SEC on ABC and ESPN. And it is getting reviews. I won't tell you which way. It is getting reviews, and I'll just leave it at that. We'll do that in the next segment as well, still to come right here on TNR.
Follow Jon Lunceford on Twitter @jlunce.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Hey, you. School's coming back. Time to gear up. And at New Balance Birmingham, we know what's up. Before hitting the books, check out the looks. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280 right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Bright Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hang out with the Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out the Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Back with you on the Next Round as we get to the trash segment here. Don't forget the premium sites that are up for you. TheBarnAuburn.com with a lot of great content every day. TheBarnAuburn.com and CoverCrimson.com. Go and register today. This part of the show being brought to you today by our friends at Inverness Country Club. We get the opportunity at Inverness Country Club, Brownie, to get out there and play a little golf occasionally at Inverness. Love that track out at Inverness. And they also have a great pool in the summertime. That pool season's winding down, but a lot of great fun with our friends at Inverness Country Club. Love their golf course out there. Love their greens. And there's a lot of good items you get there.
Yeah, I was supposed to meet your friend John Willard out there today. Memberships that fit everyone at Inverness Country Club. Find your sense of community there. Childcare, big plus. Maybe you work from home. What about working from the club while they watch your kid? Maybe you relocated to retired. Inverness, great place to network. Take a tour of this unbelievable club. Call Aaron today, 205-991-8608 or online, iccalabama.com.
Technically, John is your friend now. I'm friends with Lauren.
Wow. Okay, so you're not friends with John?
Yeah, no. It's realignment.
Hey, who was...
Fanville, he's in the portal.
Who was it we were saying all summer long was going to start for Tulane? Tyler Thompson, the organizer?
Yeah, Ty Thompson, yep.
Pete Thamel's reporting that tonight, and I can't even remember who Tulane.
Oh, they've got it's a joke of a game. It's
not on the TV schedule.
What team are we talking about?
Tulane.
You don't even have it on your TV schedule, so it must be pretty bad.
Yep.
Tonight, Pete Thamel was reporting they're starting redshirt freshman Darian Mensah.
Yeah, I saw that earlier.
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know what that means for Ty Thompson.
I don't either. It's all summer long. We've been talking about Tulane could be one of those sneaky good teams in their conference.
With the Oregon transfer.
Yeah, with the Oregon transfer, Ty Thompson. But he's, according to Pete Thamel, not starting tonight. Now, he does say that they're probably going to play 3 quarterbacks. So
Southeast Louisiana, maybe?
Maybe it is. I don't know.
They play?
But it's just weird that he's the one starting. So keep an eye on that one.
So that'll be good. That'll be good there. All right. Theme song time, Brown. I'll let you.
You want me to walk through this?
I'll let you and Forrester and Tyler do all this. Set us up. So
Tyler, let's do the old one first. All right. So back in the early,
so before we get
90s,
to
early
it,
2000s,
CBS and the SEC, that theme is gone. It's
gone.
Never coming back.
And now CBS, I assume, is going to use it for their Big Ten games.
Yeah,
but it is not going to be
for
SEC.
Those that like that, that was the only part they liked of CBS. If you're wanting this to be like that, it is not.
This is the old school ESPN. Go ahead and hit it, Tyler. The old school ESPN. Old school ESPN college football music from late 90s, early 2000s.
I love this. Oh, I love this. Oh, please tell me this is it. I love this.
All right, so that's old school. Do you like that one?
Oh yeah, remember that was my signal to the brown water was coming out.
Yeah.
All right, so Tyler, here's the new one. ESPN has reimagined. You're going to hear the similarity to the old one, but this is what. Go ahead and hit it. This is what the new one sounds like. It is. Courtesy of ESPN.
It sounds like a Jeopardy theme.
It does sound a little bit like Jeopardy.
Yeah, this is awful.
You don't like it, Lance?
I'm not a big fan.
But you hear the similarity to the old one, right? They've just reimagined it. You don't hear it?
A little bit. Like with Taylor Swift, would she sue them? Yeah, I don't like this.
No, they got Florida scoring on Georgia.
They want Florida to score a touchdown this year. Yeah. I don't love it.
Well, that's what you're going to hear every Saturday.
Let's go back to the old.
Got a lot of Florida in this.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
It may be because they're using this is the open for the game this weekend, maybe the Miami and Florida game.
Yeah, I mean that's their first big one, 2:30 ABC.
Because I'll tell you,
I say that.
Have I seen an Auburn logo yet? Did I miss that one? Alabama was up there just briefly.
I mean, Clemson, Georgia's pretty big, right?
Yeah. Okay, there's a little bit more Alabama. Okay. Have I seen an Auburn logo yet?
I haven't, Jim. Have they been kicked out of the conference by ESPN?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that was brief. We'll never see this. Oh, I guess we'll see that right before. Oh, it begins Saturday.
Okay, well, there you go. All right, so that's the new one.
I appreciate them allowing us to use it to promote the games this
thank you,
weekend.
ESPN.
Yeah. ESPNU tonight, 6:30 with Arkansas, 7 o'clock on the SEC Network for Missouri tonight. Tomorrow night on ESPN, the SEC on ESPN and ABC, Oklahoma starts against Temple. In that game, by the way, Temple, their defense last year, 6.3 yards per play. I'll say it again, 6.3 yards per play.
That's what they gave up?
Yep.
That is not good.
Good opportunity for Jackson Arnold to get his feet wet with it being his team now in total control. All right. We've mentioned football. It's time to take a little break, do a little trash here. And that gets us to Tyler and his finger ready to go with the big button.
So, what was your inspiration for tonight? Be honest with me and go into detail.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
It is buying season. Our friends at Mortgage Right here to help. Veteran founded here in Birmingham, offer loans throughout the country. While the area they serve may have grown, their commitment to Birmingham and veterans has not changed. Before you take next steps on a new home purchase or refinance, talk with the team at Mortgage Right. No cost or obligation to find out what you qualify for. You can get more information. Go to their website, mortgageright.com. If you're in Birmingham, call that Highway 280 office today. 205-900-7200, NMLS 2239, equal housing lender. We start first. Wendy's has got a new product out.
Jim, do you like Wendy's?
I do.
You like Wendy's nuts, John?
I like the double with everything but lettuce. And are they the biggie size or
they are
the
biggie
upside?
size? Yeah,
I like the
I
biggie
think they
size.
started biggie size, did they not? Didn't Wendy's?
Well, I mean, I think McDonald's had to pull supersize off the menu.
Yeah.
And maybe biggie size had to come off too. I haven't been to Wendy's in a long time.
I remember Wendy's being the first biggie size, but I could be wrong about that.
I mean, much like a copier, I always call it, hey, can you go Xerox this?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really
That's
what you're doing.
No.
Well, when I go like to Chick-fil-A, I said, I don't know what you guys call it. Can you just upsize it, biggie size it, make it large for me? But the double with everything but lettuce, including cheese, biggie size fries.
But you like lettuce, right?
I do, yeah.
I'm assuming you don't get lettuce because you're afraid it's not washed properly. You might get food poisoning.
That's not it. I'll tell you why he doesn't get lettuce. It's the same reason I don't. On the Wendy's burger, they would wrap it, and that burger would get so hot, the lettuce would kind of get wilty.
And soggy
and wet. It was soggy lettuce. I'm 100% with Jim on that.
Yeah.
Yep.
In fact,
I did not get it, but I know that that's the case.
I was the 1%er. The only time I've been a 1%er in anything, I was the 1%er that briefly McDonald's had this sandwich that they kept the condiments, the cheese, the tomato, and the lettuce separate from the burger.
That was so dumb, like the DLT Deluxe or something.
Yeah,
Was that right?
Terrible idea.
But I don't like my cheese melted.
Don't?
Not on the grill or anything. I like to put it on there and let it naturally form around it. And then I don't like the lettuce or the tomato hot.
Tyler, it's got to be fully melted, Tyler. When you give me the burger, the cheese has to be fully melted.
No.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It sounds like you missed the old thing from the 90s that George Costanza used to promote. It was like separated so that the lettuce and tomato would be together.
I can still smell, and they don't do it like this anymore, the foil wrappers. We talked about that.
Oh, love that.
That was so good. Rod's saying there's a Wendy's that's been on 280 for over 20 years. He's never been to it.
And they've actually built a new one.
Every day, because they got smoked, right?
That's right. It burned,
It probably is it's the Wendy's that's closest to my house, and it's probably the least attended Wendy's I've ever gone to.
So several photos are circulating purporting to be an internal memo sent by Wendy's corporate offices to some of its locations announcing a partnership between it and SpongeBob SquarePants owners Paramount on an official Krabby Patty to be sold this fall, as well as a companion Frosty.
Way too much tomato on that burger right there.
Oh, that's from the show. That's not the actual burger.
Well, there's tomato, but there's an onion on the top of it, so it kind of blends around.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's still a big tomato. I've never seen SpongeBob SquarePants. I know it's popular.
You never watched one episode?
Never one episode.
Nope. Oh, wow.
Krabby Patty is a meatless hamburger made out of seaweed sea buns, deep sea produce, and a patty of mysterious makings. Show creator Steven Hillenberg says that whatever is in the Krabby Patty itself, it isn't meat. And in the cartoon, it was created by Mr. Krabs and Plankton. Now, according to the letter to be from Wendy's, the Krabby Patty it makes will have meat, but come topped with a, quote, secret Krabby Patty sauce, capturing the magic of the iconic fictional sandwich for SpongeBob fans.
Yeah.
Now, this would be sold side by side with a pineapple under the sea Frosty, flavored with vanilla and a pineapple mango puree. I bet this is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and tell you their secret sauce is going to be a little bit like the Big Macs, I bet.
Think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did not watch SpongeBob. I think we told my oldest daughter that he spoke too disrespectful and we didn't want her to learn that, when in truth, the show just annoyed us. We didn't want to have it on at the house. I think that was the case.
That's a good angle.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's supposed to begin October 8th, go all the way through November 11th. All participating Wendy's locations in the U.S., Canada, and Guam, of course.
Yeah. I appreciate the folks of Guam and their landing strip back in the big one in World War II.
I'm just telling you that on the surface.
That's a long run if that's going to suck.
That looks like a terrible burger.
I agree completely.
It looks like you mixed and matched the buns.
Yeah, too big a top bun.
Yeah, you're
way
right.
too much condiment there.
You're right. It's like you have two different buns and you
That's
get
right.
the bottoms out of one bag and the tops out of the other.
You've got a government cheese.
That's right. Not melted.
Yeah, that you just laid on there. And the patty, it looks like a lunchroom patty.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass.
This is from an old episode of SpongeBob, so there's a very good chance that that's not even a real burger.
Oh, okay. So this isn't the one
Tyler
we
wants us to
Okay.
know that.
Well, I just want one of the things, and we saw it in Falling Down with Michael Douglas. Great movie.
Right.
Where he's like, this the whammy burger does not look like that, and that's true. I mean, you see these burgers, they look great. That burger looks like shit. I can't imagine what the real presentation
We're destroying
would be.
it, and Tyler's like, I want to be abundantly clear. This is not a real burger.
It's a stock photo from SpongeBob. It's not the way the Wendy's one is going to look.
Hey, and that's the most sesame seeds I've ever seen on a
That's
bun.
a lot of sesame seeds.
It's an animated burger.
Okay, in a bizarre turn of events, a would-be burglar was caught after putting hold to a robbery to read a book on Greek mythology in Rome.
Yeah.
Now, the young man got distracted by a bedside table book when he entered a flat in a small district of Rome through a balcony. The elderly homeowner woke up and confronted the suspect, who was engrossed in the book. The burglar was surprised by the homeowner's presence and managed to escape through the same balcony. However, police arrested him afterwards. At the police station, the thief told police a made-up story claiming to climb the building to visit someone he knew. And, quote, I thought I had ended up in a bed and breakfast, saw the book, started to read it. Police said the thief was also carrying a bag containing expensive clothing allegedly stolen from another house earlier that evening.
I like his dedication to reading, though. I mean, that's very important.
You got to stay on task, though, man. Especially if you're committing a felony, got to stay on task.
Got to remember what you're there for.
I bet he never reads a book because he is easily distracted, which is what we saw in this. Yeah.
I bet he's a criminal because he can't hold down the job because he doesn't do the job he's tasked with.
That's right. He's easily distracted, yes.
Yeah.
You remember in Scarface when dude's getting cut up with a chainsaw in the shower and they've got like that streetwalkers talking to him. Man, he gets all caught up with that.
I visited that apartment. It's a CVS now.
Oh, wow.
Where is it?
In South Beach?
Yeah, it's on, I think it's Ocean Boulevard.
Right.
It's right next to the beach.
Did you like that movie?
Oh, I love it.
I did too. You know, I mean, I do think
That's
Tony
way
Montana.
over the top.
I mean, Al Pacino was over the top, but you know, Oliver Stone wrote the screenplay. Brian De Palma directed, but that's when Oliver Stone knew the ins and outs of the cartel in the early '80s, back in the cocaine trade in Miami. So a lot of that is like historically accurate with Freedom Town and everything. His portrayal of Tony Montana is a little over the top, but I did like it.
Hey, before you move on, since he's asking you, talking movies with you, Tyler, a couple of movie reviews on the Meltdown live today at 2, but on their platforms, straight out of the theater with Tyler.
Blink Twice?
Huh?
No, I saw Blink Twice over the weekend.
Okay, I want to see it.
Is that the Sing Sing movie?
I saw Sing Sing as well.
Okay.
Blink Twice is Zoe Kravitz, Lenny's daughter. Yes. It's her directorial debut. Channing Tatum plays a guy that's got like a mysterious island. I think it's kind of a play on Epstein, but it's got like some Kubrick backing to it. It looks freaky, but I want to see it. What did you think?
It was pretty solid. I wasn't a big fan of the ending, but me and Lunceford both liked it.
Yeah. All right, it's what Lunceford says, so don't oversell it for Lunceford back there.
All right,
he enjoyed your company, but the movie
anymore.
was all right. But explain to LT about the Sing Sing movie, because I think he will be fascinated by the cast.
So Sing Sing is about the maximum security prison and their rehabilitation through the arts theater program. So it stars Coleman Domingo from Euphoria, as well as a bunch of former inmates. And
oh wow!
Oh, it's got actual inmates in it.
Yes.
He said in his review,
Coleman Domingo, the credits is all so and so as himself.
Wow. He said the only actor in it was the guy from Euphoria, and then everyone else actually did time at Sing Sing.
Well,
just be yourself,
play your part.
Yeah.
I bet it's so. How did you think Sing Sing was?
I think it's the best movie of the year.
Okay.
The acting was extremely authentic.
Well, technically they weren't acting.
Well, they're prisoners.
Is it limited release? Just, I mean, Vestavia's probably the only theater here.
The Summit's got it, but it's been slowly rolling out.
Lunceford agrees with you there. He also says best of the year. Yeah.
You know, the problem now is it's impossible to catch a movie.
Why? Because of football season?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That does suck.
Well, you should go in the afternoon when Tyler goes. I assume. I don't know when that was. Yeah.
So a Colorado man survived a night on a mountain by himself while injured after being left behind by his coworkers during an office retreat, which rescue officials pointed out may lead to some, quote, awkward encounters at the office in the coming days and weeks. You know, we've got kind of a small staff here.
Correct.
But back in the, back in the Cumulus days when we had roughly 60 employees, if we all went, 60 of us, I could see where somebody could get lost, right?
Oh, yeah. Like we're just all out walking to the woods.
And you forget.
Yeah, no doubt.
Hey, I forgot the receptionist wasn't on the bus on the way back.
Was that my responsibility?
Colorado County Search and Rescue South shared the hiker's ordeal in Facebook post earlier this week, saying that about 9 p.m. last Friday, it was, quote, activated for a report of an overdue hiker. Hiker was wearing all black on the standard route. a high mountain summit in the Rocky Mountains. Now, the hiker was part of a 15-person group, I'll take that back then, that embarked on an office hiking retreat. When the subject submitted at 11:30 a.m. and turned to descend, he became disoriented, finding belongings left in the boulder field to mark the descent by the previous group having being picked up as they hiked down. Now, search and rescue added, quote, in his initial attempts to descend, he found himself in the steep boulder in Scree Field on the northeast slopes towards Shavano Lake. Never want to be near Shavano Lake.
This is the second one of these type stories in the last 3 months in trash, because that lady whose partner, everybody had a partner, her partner left her behind, and she was lost for 4 days. So this is back-to-back trash stories about hiking gone wrong.
Yeah, the group noted the hiker sent a location pin drop to his coworkers who were already descending. The coworkers then informed him that his route was wrong and instructed him to climb back up the slope again to regain the trail.
Yeah.
At around 3:50 p.m., the hiker sent another location pin drop to his coworkers as he nearly regained the ridge. Shortly after the hiker sent his location, a storm swept through the area with, quote, freezing rain and high winds, prompting the hiker to become disoriented once again while losing cell signal.
Boy, crappy day, man.
Is this Dunaway?
Yeah.
Now, after receiving the missing hiker alert at 9 p.m. that evening, they deployed 2 teams and a drone pilot. The teams remained in the field until 9 a.m. the next morning with no trace or sign of the hiker.
It could be me, because I would have gotten a signal to Maggie. I'd have been like, hey, I think I'm lost my location. And she would have said, hike back up.
New number, who this?
Hike back up to the top and start over. Well, can you just send somebody to get me? No. Go back to the top, see if you can get down, and then we'll see.
Where's Brown or Lance? Well, they left me.
Second search operation began that morning with the help from at least 9 additional search and rescue groups. Then the hiker managed to regain enough cell service to dial 911. Upon locating the hiker, the search and rescue teams deployed technical rope lures to extract him from the mountain. He was then stabilized, evaluated by search and rescue before being transported to a hospital for further care. And finally, we have the 10 best deep fried foods by ranker.com.
Oh, crap, yeah.
We start at number 10.
I think we were experts on this. Let's go.
Maddie had these last night at Odie's.
They smell
the wings,
so
and
good,
you brought up the smell.
I did.
Because their ranch is great. That smell is great. But wings, number 10, according to ranker.com.
Okay.
Oh, that's a little low.
It's a top 10, though.
Number 9, speaking of Odie's, I begged Will to put these on his menu. Tater tots.
Not as big a fan as I should be.
Yeah.
I love them.
If I never have tater tots,
if they're crisp, I love them.
Every time I get tater tots, I get about halfway through the order and I say, man, I should have gotten fries.
I do, same thing. And I think I was with you, Forrester and Brownie. I think we were eating in Dallas at SEC Media Days when I got the tots on the side, and they came out like, or maybe I got them as an appetizer for the table, but they were like 4 big tots, and it was mostly just the insides. And if you don't have the outsides, they're no good.
You need the crisp outside.
Yeah.
All right.
Next on the list, popcorn chicken. Disagree with this totally.
I mean, it's again could leave or take.
So that's chicken nuggets, basically.
Yeah.
Number 7, potato chips.
I mean, I like a good potato chip.
I like chips, but I like it with a sandwich. I don't.
Yeah, me too.
Can't really catch myself with a bag on my lap on a couch much.
But you have been to a restaurant before when
they do the homemade chips?
The homemade chips.
Yeah.
I do enjoy those.
And especially when you have like a ranch dipping sauce for those.
Let me say, best chip in the market right now, either Golden Flake Sweet Heat, which has been there a while, or Utz Mike's Hot Honey Chips. Fantastic.
See, I like the Zapp's Voodoo.
Yeah, those are good, but the Zapp's are just a little too crunchy.
I like the
crunchy.
Too much.
Had the Mike's Hot Honey.
All those like just offbeat flavors.
They really
you
do.
got,
Zapp's
like,
does, yeah.
You got Old Bay and everything else.
Don't waste your time on the Old Bay. Awful.
Number 6, waffle fries.
I love waffle fries. I'm with Tyler. I would take that 9 times out of 9.
I like
tater
them, but
tots.
some places don't know how to do them.
It's not my favorite fry.
They've got a good one at Walk-Ons.
I think Walk-Ons at Chick-fil-A do them well.
Yeah. Number 5, donuts.
I don't consider that deep fried, but I guess they
are.
are.
I guess they are. Yeah.
Number 4, onion rings.
Nah.
I love a good onion ring.
I never eat onion rings.
But I get them at a sports bar occasionally, but they need to be crunchy. And the problem is that when they're really thick like that, you make a bite and then the onion comes away from the batter.
Yep. You know who loves good onion rings? Randy Brown. 2 mentions of him on the show today.
Okay.
My dad loves good onion rings.
So I end up going fork and knife on these onion rings.
Well, because they're so big now.
Yeah.
But
I always find myself when I get onion rings singing, I wish I got
Got
half and half.
fries.
Wish I got fries and
Go with
onion
the
rings.
Culver's onion ring.
Oh, they are good.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a smaller onion. What Culver's does right, they don't
Yeah.
do that big fat onion like that, so it doesn't pull all the way out when you bite it.
Number 3 on the list, I never eat the mozzarella stick unless you want to shit like a supermodel, which is once every 2 weeks. I would say avoid these.
Maggie and Harper and Carter, my family, loves these. And I've never had appetizers when I would go to them. I cannot stand this.
Yeah.
And we were somewhere recently.
I don't know how you eat
and
food
somebody
after
had
eating
this.
mozzarella sticks.
Oh, I can't stand just fried cheese and batter.
I can't believe that makes you go because
No,
normally it would make you
that's
not
what I'm saying.
go. Oh, you don't
I
want to
said
go.
you would go
Gotcha.
like a supermodel
Yeah,
because
stop you
I
up.
think
How
their
can you not eat
system's so
fried
off.
cheese? I mean, come on.
Oh, I like cheese and I like
So
fried
good.
batter.
Yeah, I do
Maybe
too.
it's the marinara sauce. I don't know, but I've never been a fan.
Maybe it's y'all.
But Lunceford, are you able to eat mozzarella sticks and then have a meal?
Have you met me, Lance?
Fair enough.
answer was yes.
Number 2, I love this. I never eat it though. Fried chicken.
Oh God, I love fried chicken.
That does not look like good fried chicken.
No,
I mean,
it does not.
this is the Champy's hour. That doesn't look like great fried chicken. I love fried chicken.
I do too.
Yeah.
The leg is my favorite. I could just eat all chicken legs and be just fine.
I used to like that. I'm a breast guy. You know that from the spot. But
That's
I also
right.
like
You like 2 big ones, don't you?
I enjoy chicken fingers too, and you got to throw that in the same category.
I agree completely.
Number 1 on the list, top fried food, according to Ranker.com, of course, is the French fry.
Yeah.
They're done so many different ways, and I am shocked at how bad some French fries are.
I know, but I like them when they're like that
Oh,
right
a little
there.
skin on them?
Yeah, I like skin on. Oh God, I like skin on. Why?
That is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Hey, if you're looking for a new home, our friends at Mortgage Right, here to help. So remember, whether you're looking for your final home, your first home, whether you have a big down payment or need 100% financing, Mortgage Right, one-stop shop for mortgages. Visit them online, no cost or obligation to see what you qualify for. You can go to mortgageright.com, call that Birmingham office, 205-900-7200, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Fried chicken, fried French fries. You get all that at Champy's Chicken. They bring you this hour of the show. I do like fried pickles, AK.
I do too.
Fried
Yep.
Wickles are through the roof.
Yes, sir.
Love them, love them. Champy's has all the great apps. They got the great sides and everything to go with it. You can see the fried chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order. That's why it is so fresh and crisp. It's not sitting back there getting soggy at Champy's Chicken. That's why it's elite. It's a chef's kiss of the chicken right there. Right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster, Mississippi Delta Recipe Tamales. It is perfect for your tailgate, champy'schicken.com.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Hey, you. School's coming back. Time to gear up. And at New Balance Birmingham, we know what's up. Before hitting the books, check out the looks. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or michelson.laservision.com.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the Bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok while we're changing the game yet again. Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the Intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low, low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of the next round, about that thing you missed. Sure, the rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
Back with you on the next round as we keep rolling on. I'm going to get these guys' final thoughts on the games tonight and what they're looking forward to as we get ready for this big, big weekend. Don't forget UAB at home tonight, 7 o'clock, kicking off Trent Dilfer's second season, Alcorn State. And then Jack State at home tonight. Coastal and Jack State, 7 o'clock. That one's on CBS Sports Network. By the way, Bleacher Report predicting scores of games. They have that being a 27-23 Jack State win is their projection there. That's an entertaining football game.
Yeah. Got to play on that at lanceslock.com right now.
Can you tell me who you like?
I'll tell you in break.
I've been telling you, I think that's going to be the best game of the night. Yeah. I mean, if you just get past, these are not name brands for a lot of people, Jacksonville State Coastal, I think it's going to be the closest, best played game of the night.
24-21 North Carolina was the Bleacher Report projection there. And I think it was also a one-score game between North Dakota State and Colorado.
It's weird.
Got to play on that one as well.
Yeah.
It's weird. I mean, let me just ask the question this way. Whether he wins it or not, do you agree that Shedeur Sanders has a skill set that could win the Heisman?
Okay. Save that thought.
All right.
Final thought of the day being brought to you by our friends at the Barber Motorsports Park. Big weekend coming up. September 6th through the 8th. Fanatec and the GT World Challenge America is back in town at the Barber Motorsports Park. And you say, all right, I know about NASCAR. I know about Indy racing at Barber. So what is this, Jim? This is the GT World Challenge of America presented by Fanatec. That's the unbelievable sports cars, the Lambos, the McLarens, the Porsches, the Ferraris. They're out there racing. These are now they've been souped up a little bit, right? But these are off the showroom floor, out there racing. You get the same thing you get on Indy racing. You get the beer gardens, the kid zones, and on Saturday you get the Bark at the Park coming up on September the 7th. So this is not this weekend; it's next weekend at Barber Motorsports Park. The Fanatec GT World Challenge America, September 6th through the 8th. Kids 15 and under get in free. So get your tickets today with our friends at Barber Motorsports Park.
So, I mean, my question is, and this is hard to answer. Well, I think I know the answer is yes. I mean, ability-wise and skill set-wise, Shedeur Sanders could win the Heisman. Not at Colorado because they're not going to be any good. But if you drop Shedeur Sanders into a good program, the guy could walk away with a Heisman.
Yeah, I still think this is one. I think he's the only guy in college football that could win a Heisman with 7 wins.
Yeah. He might could.
Because I think the Big 12 is good enough this year. If they beat a couple of teams they shouldn't, he puts up the numbers and then some from last year with that name.
I'm just going to walk through the top. You stop me in the top 10 where he doesn't win the Heisman.
Real quickly on his point, 8-4, Robert Griffin III, I believe, was the last Heisman, not from a big winning team.
Okay.
I think RG3's team was 8-4.
Yeah. Would he win the Heisman at Georgia?
Yes.
Would he win the Heisman at Ohio State?
Yeah.
Would he win it at Oregon?
Yeah.
Would he win it at Texas?
Yeah.
Would he win it at Alabama?
Yeah.
Would he even win it at Ole Miss?
No, I think if he was your starting quarterback for any of the 12 playoff teams, including a Group 5, he could win the Heisman Trophy.
Why is it that we think a FCS team is going to go in and win this game?
Because they gave up 52 sacks. Their defense was garbage last year. And, this is a North Dakota State team that won 10 games last year. They've got a 4-year starting quarterback in Cam Miller. Your 2 best players on the field outside of Travis Hunter are going to be your 2 quarterbacks.
It does feel like this isn't the best North Dakota State teams we've seen in recent years.
I agree.
This one's got flaws that's not going to keep them in the game. We'll see.
I don't know. I think they're going to be better than they were last year with 10 wins.
But it's not the Craig Bowl.
That'll be exciting.
It's not the Craig Bowl Chris Kleiman teams that we saw. I mean, those teams were now. If it was one of those teams like when Carson Wentz was quarterback,
right?
Or
that
Trey
team
Lance,
is South Dakota State. They've won 15 in a row, back-to-back national
That's who's
championships.
playing Oklahoma State.
South Dakota State's the new North Dakota State.
And you don't think Oklahoma State has any trouble with South Dakota State Saturday, do you?
Oh, no, I think they could.
Do you really?
Yeah, South Dakota State's better than North Dakota State.
Do you know how bad that loss would be?
Yeah, I don't think they lose. They're 9.5-point favorites. Again, I said this yesterday. I think they'll be super focused just based on what happened last year in the month of September.
I go back to if you're going to play an FCS team, I do not know why you're playing the good ones.
Yeah.
Well, and I also go back to this. Mike Gundy said, you know what his punishment is, Ollie Gordon?
Yeah,
we're going to run him
carries.
40 times. If you didn't suspend him, you're playing him against an FCS and you lose at home, that's awful.
See, I can schedule any FCS team I want to schedule. They just want the paycheck. Yeah. So if I'm running a college football program, I say, okay, give me the average wins over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And it needs to be 4 or under. Because it doesn't matter.
It's easy. You just get a map. You take away the plain states.
Take away the Dakotas.
No Dakotas, no Montana. Idaho's back in the FCS. They've gone to the playoffs 2 straight years. Just take out Idaho, all the Montanas, all the Dakotas, anybody else.
Would you rather, if you're Colorado, would you rather be playing La Monroe tomorrow or tonight or North Dakota State?
Oh, La Monroe.
La Monroe.
I don't understand when you schedule FCS teams, why you schedule. It's no surprise that North Dakota State and South Dakota State are good. They've been good for a long time. I don't know why you schedule those teams. If you're Oklahoma State and Colorado, you've got nothing to gain by beating them. You've got everything to lose by losing to them. If you're going to have nothing to gain by beating somebody, go play, Western Carolina. Go play nobody. Don't play a good team.
If Deion's able to get this Colorado team to a bowl game, which is a major accomplishment the way we've talked about this team all year long.
Would agree.
It would be a pretty impressive feat. It would only be their 3rd bowl game at Colorado since 2007. That's a long time just to get to 6-6. So we'll see if he can get them to 6-6 or better. And boy, the projections on this Colorado team are as wide as some of the canyons up there in the Plain States.
You're right about that.
There are some people that think this team could win 7, 8, 9 and be contending in the Big 12, and there's some that thinks they're a 2, 3, 4 win team.
Well, if they go former, I think you could have your National Coach of the Year in Deion, and you could have your National Player of the Year / Heisman in Shedeur.
And most people believe Shedeur and Travis, if Shedeur and Hunter both will be off the board in the top 10 picks easily in next year's NFL draft.
If you ever wonder what Eli Holstein would have looked like in an Alabama uniform, you won't ever get to see that, but he is the starter for Pittsburgh this Saturday, Pete Thamel reports, so you see him.
Yep.
I don't know who they play.
Yeah, well, we can talk more about that tomorrow. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America. The Meltdown's back at 2. Pennant Grace coming up in about 15 minutes.